The Cleveland Browns are so bad that their top rookies don't even have their faces in the game. But don't fret, because Coach RBT never backs down from a challenge. As somehow, for the first time in Madden 27, I'm going to rebuild the NFL's worst franchise all the way until I lead them to their first ever Super Bowl. But as always with the Browns, especially without Myles Garrett for the first time ever, they present one of the toughest challenges of my entire life. Now, first step as it is in every single rebuild is to do a deep dive analysis of this stinky roster. And we'll get to the quarterback position in a minute. For the positive vibes, we'll actually start on the defensive side of things, which obviously we no longer got Myles Garrett, but at least we got Jared Verse to replace him, which how funny, billion-dollar company, here in Madden 27, brand new game, they still got Jared Verse in his old Rams jersey, but hey, that's neither here nor there. At least he should become a prominent figure in this defense for the duration of this rebuild. I mean, he's only 25 years old, still on his rookie contract, so obviously we'll more than likely have to pay him a massive bag today, but hopefully in doing so, he can become maybe a 95 rated edge rusher, one of the best in the league. The goal is for him to become a double-digit sack guy every year. But believe it or not, there's actually multiple bright spots alongside this defense. You got year 2 superstar defensive tackle Mason Graham. Again, the guy I kind of hope within a couple seasons gets to like that 90 overall range. Again, he's only in year 2, 22 years old, so he's going to be on his rookie contract for at least the next 4 years. Now, I will say that I do find it very interesting that 2025 Defensive Rookie of the Year Carson Schlesinger, going into his second year, isn't a superstar himself. Does not to me there's not potential in this rebuild with him. He's already at 83 overall, only 23 years old. So again, the goal is for him to become one of the best middle linebackers in the National Football League today. Now, at free safety, we also have faceless rookie Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, 75 overall. Again, should turn into quite the beast today. He's 6'4", 201, 22 years old out of Toledo. So honestly, I'd be pretty shocked if he's not our starter by the end of the season, which means that might just make old Ronnie Hickman here a little expendable. I mean, he's only 24 years old himself, but more than likely he just ends up becoming a trade piece. Now, obviously, we've yet to mention superstar cornerback one of this team, Denzel Ward, one of the best cornerbacks in football, coming in as a 94 overall. With him at 29 years old, though, it's a little worrisome that he might end up retiring on us before we win the Super Bowl. Because players retire so early in franchise, I think it's something that they need to fix because it's just broken right now. Players will still be like 95, 96 rated coming off an MVP or a Defensive Player of the Year, winning the Super Bowl, and they'll retire at 32. So the goal is to obviously hold on to him until we actually win a Super Bowl. But again, who knows? Because if that's going to be the case, we're going to have to win the Super Bowl within 3 or 4 years, which depending on how much time he has left on his contract, another 4 years. In 2028 and 2029, he has a $40 million cap hit as a cornerback. So that if we were to trade him, we get a massive cap penalty. So more than likely, he's stuck here for the next 4 years, regardless if I want to or not. Then you got Grant Delpit here, who should be our starting strong safety for the next 3-4 years, only 27 years old. Also on a 4-year extension himself, where in 2029, we're going to be paying him $24 million. But at least with that being the case, we should have the majority of our secondary locked in for the duration of this rebuild. Now, where things get a little tricky, and I don't know what to do about it back on defense, is the will linebacker position. I'm kind of shocked that he's still in the game. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, 83 overall, 26-year-old former superstar will linebacker, obviously has had his career derailed by a very severe neck injury, which it doesn't really sound like he's ever going to play again, but he's still in the game, and I'd feel bad just like cutting him because somebody else would sign him. So I guess just in today's rebuild, we honor, his NFL career, and hopefully maybe he gets to make a comeback. But at least today, I suppose we can let him stay around for the duration of this rebuild, hopefully win him a championship. But outside of that, though, like I told you guys, the defense is pretty gosh dang good. Like a lot of youngsters alongside the starting 11. Like the only real needs maybe Sam linebacker, although technically Quincy Williams is one of the highest rated Sam linebackers in the entire game. We need a better, premier edge rusher alongside Jared Verse and probably a better D tackle too. And we will probably end up needing another cornerback or two behind Denzel Ward. But outside of that, dude, the defense comes in as 81 rated with room to grow because, again, most of the starters are young and will continue to progress. But unfortunately, it's not the defense that I'm worried about. I think we all know it's this stinky offense. Starting with the quarterback position, which I have no idea what to do here. Like Deshaun Watson, he's just not the future of this franchise. If I could, I don't know what his contract situation currently is. I mean, we probably should just trade him away, honestly. $41 million cap hit, so we're not going to take any sort of massive penalty or anything. Now, Shedeur Sanders is just probably going to be the starter this season. I'm not going to trade for anybody at the beginning of this rebuild. Not going to sign anybody. He's only a 69 overall, who I probably can get up to a 71 through training camp. What I will say, we'll put a goal. If he's an 80 overall by the end of the season, maybe we look to him to be our long-term starter, but then at that point, we have to give him a contract extension, just a couple seasons. But if he has a stinky season, if he's not like an 80 rated, I've seen him become like an 84 rated in the first year franchise, so it's not like it's completely out of the question or anything. But if he has a bad first year, more than likely, we'll spend our draft capital on the future of our franchise in the NFL draft. But he'll get a shot this year. I will say in Madden franchise simulation, he's pretty gosh dang overpowered. So don't be shocked, if he throws for 4,500 yards or anything this season. Now, I think we're also set at running back. Quinshon Judkins, big fan of him, 82 overall, only 22 years old. We need him to progress rather fast because for you to be, a really good team in simulation in Madden franchise, you need your running back to probably be about a 90 overall, which again, hopefully he can get there in a season or two. Kind of surprised that Harold Fanon's only an 80 overall after the season that he had as a rookie, but again, we should be locked down to this position for the entirety of this rebuild. He's only 22 years old, 80 overall star development. He's also a candidate to get into 90 overalls within just a couple seasons or so. But then, the very big question comes at the wide receiver position. Jerry Jeudy here starts as the #1 receiver, but man, what a disappointment he's been outside that Mickey Mouse run he had with Jameis Winston. I really feel like we just need to go ahead and let the rookies take over, even though they don't have faces in this game for whatever reason. Kind of disappointed in Denzel Boston because, oh my god, he has been an absolute stud in training camp. He's honestly probably going to be the wide receiver 1 this season for the team. But the unfortunate thing about that is Denzel Boston, for whatever reason, in franchise mode, it only starts as normal development. Even though you can't see his face or anything, the orange card does mean he only starts with normal, which means it's going to be a struggle for him to get 80 overall. But I will give him a season or two as #1, maybe #2 receiver, depending on what we do in the offseason, see if he can get into the 80 overall range. If that's the case, he should be stuck here for the duration of his rebuild. But again, all that to say, there's just so many holes in this team, more so on the offensive side of things. On the offensive line, there's a ton of holes as well. Spencer Fano, he should be our long-term starting left tackle, but outside of that, dude, it's just massive question marks everywhere. Elton Jenkins is a good overall right now, 84 overall, big signing in free agency, but he's 30 years old. Again, with Madden having players retire at the age of 31, 32 all the time, he's only probably going to be here for a couple seasons. We might need to trade him away eventually. Now, I told you guys this team needed a deep dive analysis, and it took a little bit longer with the Browns than most teams because there's just so many question marks, so much to go over. Once we get to the mid-season, if we're having a stinky year, which is probably going to be the case, there's some players I might as well just go ahead and trade on for some draft capital, like Jerry Jeudy being one of them. I don't know how much longer he has left in his contract. He has a total of just 2 years, so that cap penalty wouldn't be that drastic. It'd probably be maybe, $8 million or so. And with him still being an 81 overall receiver, 27 years old, I feel like we should probably be able to get something half decent for him. Which actually, before we do anything else, do I just go ahead and get rid of Deshaun? Oh, I can't actually, because he has a no trade clause. So that's fun. If anything, I'm just have to cut him here, which I think I'm going to do. I was hoping, that I would at least be able to get a 6th round pick or 7th round pick for him, but he's just going to be released. And I don't know why it says I'm going to incur a penalty of $41 million this season. I don't like that. Hey, I should be gaining $41 million in cap room. Okay, so I released him, and it still says we have $25 million in cap room, so I don't know why we incurred a penalty with it being the last year of his contract. It says we have $140 million of dead cap, which we should be able to spend this upcoming offseason. So this first season, just regardless, is going to be a wash. And speaking of free agents, there's some high-rated guys still here, but I'm probably not going to indulge. There's nobody that's going to help us out long-term, and we don't expect to win the Super Bowl or anything our second season. So by the time we'd end up competitive in this franchise, all these guys are probably going to be retired. So the first thing that we've got to do in this rebuild to give us a little jump start is training camp. Now, a quick little tidbit for you guys, because I unfortunately found this out the hard way last rebuild. You always have this pop up for one of your young players, preseason work for Judkins. So Judkins wants additional preseason work to sharpen his game before week 1. So if you do this, for whatever reason, you can't do training camp with them, and training camp is more important than whatever the heck this is, because you actually get yourself an overall boost from training camp. So I'm not going to do that, and if I was you, I wouldn't do it either. Oh, and something that I do need to do at the start of this rebuild, and it's another little tidbit for you guys out there starting your franchises. One thing that kind of really is a cheat code for your players to progress in franchise, especially during training camp, is if you go and unlock the camp counselor ability. As we start with 200 franchise points, spend 50 of those on camp counselor, try to max out as much as I possibly can, and with that, we do get ourselves a ×2 XP boost for training camp minigames. So a little bit of a boost to start off this rebuild. And as mentioned, we're going to be trying to get Shedeur Sanders the biggest upgrade here physically possible. Now, how funny would it be if we just went with Taylon Green and let him become the starter, but I'm not going to now, in the moment, because he doesn't have a face as well. Why don't the Browns rookies have faces? But anyways, Shedeur Sanders, let's see if we can get him up to a 71 overall here, maybe even get him to a 72. I'm telling you guys right now, I am locked the frick in here. I am very close to getting gold on the very first attempt of my very first training camp in this rebuild. That might be a little short. Oh, look at that. Absolute perfection. Now, the question is, if we can get that random upgrade to his depth trait, that could completely change the course of his career here in Cleveland. It's very, very rare you do get that boost, though, but you have to get gold. So there is a chance. There is a chance. And ultimately, we only get the 2 skill points and the 4,000 XP, which, again, might be good enough to give him a 3 skill point upgrade. That's actually so funny. We did get the 3 skill points. So Shedeur Sanders, just like this, just through one training camp drill, is going to jump up all the way to a 73? Wait, how did that just happen? He went up to a 73 overall scrambler somehow, which again, I'm not asking questions, although I kind of am. One training camp drill in, we got Shedeur Sanders up 4 overall to a 73. Maybe he will end up being our starter of the future. Hopefully we can have the same exact success with Quinshon Judkins here. Unfortunately, only gonna get silver with Judkins, which will at least be good enough to get him up from an 82 to an 83 overall. Now, the wide receiver position, I do think I'm gonna take a lot of my time to try and upgrade Denzel Boston, which it would be nice if after getting snubbed at the star development to start off his rookie year, if he can go ahead and get it from his first training camp drill. Oh, we only get the 2 skill points there, which is fine and all, but again, like a star dev upgrade would have completely changed his trajectory as this franchise's #1 receiver. But with this upgrade up to a 76 overall, should at least pass Casey Concepcion as the wide receiver #2 on the team. But again, regardless of like what the ratings say, he's gonna be the 1, Casey Concepcion's gonna be the 2, and Jerry Jeudy's gonna be relegated to the 3 because he's probably gonna get traded at the deadline. Ooh, now let's try to get a big upgrade for our rookie left tackle. Honestly, this might be my favorite training camp drill because it's by far the easiest. If I don't get gold in the very first try, something went terribly wrong. Hopefully we can get lucky on one of these goals and just get 1 dev trait boost to start off this rebuild. Come on, my life needs a little bit of luck here. We are gonna get just the 1 skill point. But again, not terrible though. I mean, he's gonna start off his rookie season as an 80 overall left tackle. Okay, now this is a tough decision. Do I try to give an upgrade to Mason Graham, our second-year defensive tackle, or Jared Verse? Either of these guys, we possibly can get him upgraded to X Factor if we gold this drill. But it's like, do I try to get Jared Verse closer to that 90 so it won't be that much of a drop-off for Myles Garrett, which it will be regardless? Screw it. It'll at least give me the best chance of actually getting gold here. Alright, well that was really easy, and unfortunately don't know if that was indicative of Jared Verse's ability or the inability of our offensive line. And there it is! Gold on the very first attempt. Rather not, that can get up to an X Factor remains to be seen. What a massive boost, though, that would be at the start of this rebuild. Come on, I need a little bit of luck. A little bit of luck if I'm ever going to win a Super Bowl with the Browns, and we just get the 1 skill point. Which we actually did get a little lucky there, because that extra XP that he got was enough for a 2nd skill point upgrade. So he should go from an 88 to a 90 here, which we're actually going to go with the Speed Rusher upgrade, which unfortunately, sometimes when you go with the lowest archetype, like it doesn't actually bump up his overall. So let's see, from an 88 to an 89. So the 2 skill points only got him up to an 85 Speed Rusher, which only got his overall up to an 80 now, which is fine though, it's fine. Now, if you're anything like me, figuring out what to make for dinner and figuring out how to make time to make dinner every single night of your life gets old, and it gets old fast. Especially when I'm sitting here recording videos for you guys hours upon hours every single day of my life. Like, when am I supposed to stop and go make dinner? Which is exactly why I love myself some HelloFresh, who I'd like to thank for sponsoring today's video. HelloFresh has actually made their menu even easier with their new quick and easy menu, including new low-lift dinners for those nights that you really don't feel like cooking. But at the same time, you also don't want to order takeout again for the 800th time. And with HelloFresh, you're able to customize your meals too. You can swap the protein, double the portion, and basically build your dinners around what you actually like. Not to mention, HelloFresh is always adding new recipes and flavors from all over the world, including Korean, Italian, Moroccan, Japanese, and more. You're always getting fresh ingredients and chef-crafted recipes delivered right to your door, so it just makes dinner so much easier. And right this second, you can click my link below to get a free Caraway food storage set, a $155 value, with your 3rd box of HelloFresh, available for a limited time only. Again, that's with your 3rd box of an active subscription. Limited quantities are available only while supplies last. So again, make sure to either scan the QR code on the screen or click my link below to get started with HelloFresh. Well, let's try to get Carson upgraded. Now, we'll say this chase and tackle minicamp drill is probably the most cortisol inducing in the entire game, so I honestly might just settle for a silver here. It seems so easy, but all it takes is 1 nasty cut from the running back and you lose all your progress. See what I'm saying? Oh, I caused the fumble, so we still could possibly get gold here. If we can cause multiple fumbles, we will be cooking, boys. Okay, we're getting gold. We're definitely gonna get gold. I'm not gonna lie to you boys, that fumble saved me. Again, didn't get the dev trait increase. And it is only good for the 1 skill point. It's fine though, got him up to an 84. Could be a... Now finally for this DB battle drill, I think I'm gonna go with a sneaky choice here and go with Emmanuel McNeil-Warren and get him tied on overall with Ronnie Hickman. And this is definitely my 2nd favorite drill, although I dropped that. It's my 2nd favorite because it's the easiest. I think it was last year they threw in where you can actually see the routes ran. That just makes it exorbitantly easier to intercept the ball almost every single time. Might get cooked here. Just kidding, but as you guys saw, I literally got gold with 4 reps remaining. So our final chance for the cheeky dev trait increase. Maybe next year, boys. Maybe next year. But regardless, it was an important upgrade because now up to a 76 overall, which makes me feel extremely comfortable in naming him our starter. So I have to say, I feel like that was an extremely successful start to the season. I mean, we're already up to an 81 overall team just from training camp. Now an 80 overall offense, 83 defense, and with the 4 overall boost that Shedeur Sanders was able to get from that, he genuinely just off of that catapulted him, could become our long-term starter. So I definitely don't like the fact that we lost our last 2 preseason games by combined point differential of 60. Oh, and don't like the fact that Shedeur only completed 50% of his passes. We couldn't run the ball either. Just an absolute disaster. Joe Royer was our second leading receiver, by the way. Now, we do have some roster cuts here last week before the regular season begins, but I do want to check the free agency market because, like, some players that are pretty good could have been cut at this point. I've seen some pretty promising players, for whatever reason, get cut the last week of the preseason, so I do want to scout the market and see if there's anybody I think that could help out our roster. Okay, so Keely Ringo from the Eagles got cut. He's only 73 overall, but 24 years old, was once a promising young cornerback. We definitely need cornerback depth, so like I feel like it's to be a pretty big signing. Okay, literally all I had to do was add an interception incentive, and just like that, Keely Ringo's the next member of this Cleveland Browns secondary. And also, like, Brandon Ayuk's here, but he's the last thing we need in this Cleveland Browns culture. Tyquan Thornton, though, if we are going to eventually trade away Jerry Jeudy, I don't feel like he'd be a bad number 3 receiver. So he's not going to be asking for like way too much or anything. I'll probably give him like a 3-year offer and see what he says to this. Now, I'm very curious if like the entire incentive option is a big glitch. Because last time I offered the incentive to Ringo and he immediately accepted the offer. Tyquan Thornton, look at that. It's a glitch. Don't even have to offer him more money. So crazy enough, I was actually able to cut 22 players off the roster, removing a practice squad, and we're able to keep Taylon Green on the active roster. Again, I don't think he or Dylan Gabriel has any chance to develop into anything, you know, too fruitful, but it's not the worst thing in the world to have 3 25-year-old or younger quarterbacks in your roster, even though it says Shedeur is a quality backup. Ooh, and Spencer with a nice little juicy upgrade before we get into the regular season, so our young rookie left tackles can go from 79 to an 81 in his first ever preseason. So really hoping he's somebody that could turn into like an all-pro today. So it only took me personally about an hour and 15 minutes to get through our first preseason today, but we have finally made it up to an 81 overall team from a 79. Again, I don't expect much from this first season. Does look like Judkins got to upgrade to 84, so that's nice. Now, the one thing that we definitely need to see from this first season, although I think we all can understand that we're not going to be competitive, is growth from our youngsters. Specifically, if Shedeur, again, is going to be our long-term starter, he's got to get up to like an 80 overall and not have a complete stinker of a season. We need Judkins to improve to like an 87, 88. We need Denzel Boston and Casey Concepcion both pushing that 80 overall threshold. I would like to see Harold Fannin up to like maybe an 83, 84. Spencer Fano maybe pushing like 85. And then defensively, man, I want to see Schlesinger close to a 90. I want to see Mason Graham closer to like the mid 80s than Jared Verse. Definitely got to get into those 90s. So if all of that can happen as we just described, despite our record this season, I think it would be a massive success. But what we're going to do for starters is just go ahead and simulate to week 9, get to the trade deadline, and if we're having that stinky season that we all expect, go ahead and trade away some of our players on expiring contracts or some of the guys that we just don't expect to keep around here long term. And I want you guys to keep in mind that we have a plethora of draft picks this upcoming draft. We have 2 first-round picks. This one's probably not going to be that great. I think it's the Rams pick, so they'll probably be picking into the first round. But we have 3 4s, 2 5s, 2 7s. So if we play our cards right this upcoming offseason, I really would like to think possibly by year 3 we could be competitive. And don't forget either, like, we're in one of the toughest divisions in football, so that's not going to make this rebuild any easier on us. But as long as like we don't go winless this season, boys, we should be fine. Fellas, we're actually 4-4 on the season. I don't know how we're not going to make the playoffs because our division is so good, but I am actually shocked that we're 4-4. I thought we might would have 1-2 wins, which we've had a really good last month stretch. We beat the Jets, lost to the Ravens, beat my Titans, and took down the Steelers last week in Pittsburgh. I mean, we put up 43 points on a really good Buccaneers team week 2, so it looks like our offense isn't performing too terribly. Let's go see, though. We have a top 10 offense in football. Defensively, we're dead last, which I don't feel like makes any sense. I feel like we have a pretty good defense. Okay, Shedeur's trying to put together the best season of all time here. Oh, man, he's making it tough on me. 2,000 yards, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's only completing 56% of his passes. See, he's only up to a 74. That's the thing, though, man. With his normal development, if that doesn't get increased, there's just no way he's going to turn into like a bona fide 85, 90 rated quarterback, which we're probably going to need if we're going to eventually win the Super Bowl today. So that just makes it tougher, the fact that he's actually performing well. I have a sneaky suspicion that he's going to kind of fall off in the second half of the season, but I could be completely wrong. Judkins is actually having a really good season. 613 yards, 5.2 yards per carry, up to an 85 overall, which is definitely what we like to see. Denzel Boston having a season, boys. 900 yards, 6 touchdowns. Casey Concepcion having a good season himself, 600 yards, 4 tutties. Fannin looks like he's getting the wide receiver 3 touches, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns himself. Now, it does not look like our wide receiver 3 gets many touches in this offense, which means Jerry Jeudy literally hasn't played a snap this entire year, so he hasn't gone up in overall. So we are going to be trading him away here, because I guess like we've won 4 games without him playing. But that makes things really tricky, because in the Browns offense, apparently they do not utilize the wide receiver 3 at all, which unfortunately means I was actually looking at drafting a wide receiver this offseason, or signing one at least. But if that's the case, like, is there even a point in getting another one if they don't play in this offense? That makes it tough. But anyways, moving along to the defense, of course, Schlesinger, 70 tackles, 4.5 sacks. It looks like he's actually leading the team with 4.5 sacks. Mason Graham tied with Jared Verse with 4. But this is like exactly what I didn't need. If you're going to replace Myles Garrett, you got to put up better numbers than these. At least he has forced 3 fumbles. But man, if we're ever going to win a Super Bowl after losing Myles Garrett, he's going to have to turn into a double-digit sack guy. I mean, Alex Wright on the other side almost has as many sacks as him. Malik Collins as well with 3, who is somebody I probably am going to trade away here. Won't get much for him more than likely, but he wanted a contract extension. We're not going to re-sign him. Which, speaking of players on their way out, Ronnie Hickman, I didn't want to lose him yet. I thought he had another year left, but this is it. We're not going to re-sign him since we have a rookie that's starting in his place. I feel like I might be able to get something half decent for him too. So he's going to be on his way out. Then you have Tevin Jenkins. He's on a 1-year contract, but it's like, is it really worth trading him away when like he's protecting Shedeur Sanders right now? Malik Collins, that's not going to make a massive difference if we trade him away. Cedric Tillman, who again is not getting any playing time at all, so we might as well get something for him. That's probably the only players on expiring contracts that could even get us any half-decent return. So let's start off by just seeing if we can get like a 7th-round pick from Malik Collins. Then after this, we're going to see how everybody else progressed on the team. Now, first thing, I did want to look at the trade block to see if there's any players I could be interested in trading for, because that'd probably be easier to acquire. But like, the issue is one of the big talking points from EA Sports this year in franchise mode was like, at the trade block this year, if a team is struggling, they might turn to sellers and put some of their better players on the trade block, trade them away, and maybe sell for the future. But it doesn't look like that's the case. It just doesn't. Like, there's no good players right now on the trade block at all. Like, what's the highest rated player I've seen at this point? Like a 76 rated Upton Stout. Now, Malik Collins is going to be the first player that we trade away, which it doesn't shock me that there's no offers immediately for him, but that's why I'm the GM. Gonna find a way to work some magic. Ooh, do we make another trade with the Rams? Probably not, actually, because their draft pick's gonna more than likely be pretty gosh dang good, which we can check. Currently, their draft pick is projected to be 25. I don't like this. We need to have a worse end of the season so we actually get the pick in the top 10, hopefully top 5. Oh, do we trade them in division to the Steelers? They gave me a 3rd-round pick for them. Not complaining about that at all. Okay, if we can get a 3rd-round pick from a division rival for Malik Collins, surely we can get something half decent for the expiring contract of Ronnie Hickman here. Now, the Packers and Eagles offer were definitely a lot more valuable than the Vikings here, so I might try to deal with one of them. This is actually a lot closer to being accepted than what I thought. Markel Bell is currently the backup right tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles behind Lane Johnson. But I guess because he's the backup and not really valuing him too highly, he's hidden dev 78 overall. He's 6'9", 350. So if I can find a way to make this work, dude, I will pull the trigger in a heartbeat. What about Isaiah McGuire? He's also on an expiring contract. Don't need him. Not going to re-sign him. The Eagles always want pass rush depth. Submit it through. Got a little bit closer. What if we gave them Dylan Gabriel? Because Dylan Gabriel obviously isn't happy to be here. Maybe I was a little bit too ambitious, boys. Although I still do have Cedric Tillman, who we're not going to be re-signing long term. I guess I can submit this through. It is so close, dude. It is so freaking close. Is this worth it, man? For a potential long-term starter at the right tackle position, I have multiple 4s that they could trade away. Maybe I start with the 5 instead. Like, the goal right now, I am trying to just like get assets in return for players I'm not going to re-sign. Like, the obvious thing would be to trade for draft picks, but I already have so many, dude. So let's just submit this out there. It is so close, dude. I will honestly be willing to trade away both of these 7s if I had to. Come on, dude. He's only 22 years old. This would be a massive pickup. Be on a rookie contract for the next 3 years. Come on, both 7s, please be enough. Trade was accepted. Never in a billion years expected this to happen. But with this, we have ourselves ourselves our long-term starter at the right tackle position. And now all we have left to do is trade away Jerry Jeudy here. Literally hasn't played a snap for us for whatever reason this entire season. And got offered Cole Kmet, Brian Cook, Dawson Knox, Kenneth Gainwell. Nothing way too sexy. Quentin Lake's not bad. Jaquan Brisker, but we don't really need safety help. Like, even Josh Downs from the Colts, I feel like is a really good offer. What'll be the point in this when I'm getting rid of Jerry Jeudy in the first place, so I don't need a receiver. What are the odds I could get a higher overall starter at the left edge position than Alex Wright? I mean, obviously I'm not going to be able to get myself a superstar or anything, but it's somebody that's young, that can progress, and be half decent, you know, at getting to the quarterback on the opposite side of Jared Verse. So I just sat here for 15 minutes, and this is the offer that stands out the most. Latu from the Indianapolis Colts has 2 years left on his rookie contract, so he'll have to be paid relatively soon. But I mean, talk about a guy that can progress maybe into the 90s overall on the opposite side of Jared Verse today. They're the same age. So it's like, I don't know if I have anything else I'm willing to trade away right now. I don't want to have to get rid of a third-round pick. I would be willing to get rid of one of these 4s. And that does make it pretty close. That does make it really close. Hold on a second. Now, the other player that was actually very interesting outside of Latu was Dallas Turner of the Minnesota Vikings. He has superstar dev, quite a bit like lower rated. 4 overall lower than Latu, but like I feel like it'd be worth it with that superstar dev trait. Oh, dude, it's like, what do I do at this point? We'll go back to Indy, who apparently needs a wide receiver. I mean, we have so many future picks, man. We have 2 2s in 2028 that we could use in a trade. We have 2 3s in 2029. But let's go with a late day 3 pick from 2029. Submit it through. Got a little bit closer. Do we have like just one more player that they might would want? Like maybe one of these tight ends for whatever reason? Trade was accepted. We just bring in ourselves a potential superstar opposite side of Jared Verse to hopefully fill the void that we lost in Myles Garrett. But I do feel like this is going to end up being one of the most important massive moves of this entire rebuild. And like funny, like through all that, somehow, some way, we made the team better up to an 82 rated with an 85 defense now. Looking at some of the players, I mean, we have Denzel Boston, Casey Concepcion, they're up to a 78 overall piece. Spencer Fano up to an 82. Elton Jenkins up to an 85, who unfortunately will probably end up having to be traded away. Okay, Carson Schlesinger all the way up to an 86 overall X Factor already, so I think we have ourselves who will end up being the best middle linebacker in all of football. Jared Verse, unfortunately, hasn't even gone up to a 90 yet, which doesn't really shock me considering he only has 4 sacks on the season. Mason Graham up to an 82, and obviously, as you see here, Latu wants to talk, I'm assuming, contract extension, which is better to go ahead and get that extension out of the way right now, because if we waited until next year, he's going to be exorbitantly more expensive. So I'd like it to be like a really long deal, like 4 years. I'll give 2 of those years guaranteed. Up the salary slightly. I don't even know where this is going to begin. Only 3% interest. That's funny. That's great. So he's not even willing to discuss a contract. I just wish the game would start with sending a contract offer that they'd be willing to negotiate with. I thought I was doing good. I upped the money. I upped the years. I upped the bonus. And he won't even discuss it with me. So advance to the next week and he still doesn't want to talk to me. It literally says, wants to see what the market has to offer in the offseason. Brother, you are locked down for 2 years. You can't see what the market has to offer in the offseason because you're going to be a Brown. God, all because the game starts off with a bad offer and I up the offer and he just won't even negotiate with me ever again. So that's fun. Love that. But I think that's that for the rest of the season, boys. And funny enough, we actually won again last week, 16-13. So we are currently 5-4 on the year, still last in our division. But we're just a half a game out of the 7 seed and I don't even feel like I've done anything. Like we're currently on a 3-game winning streak against 2 really good teams and all these games away from home. Like honestly, I was kind of hoping we were going to suck the rest of the year so we get a top 10 draft pick. The latest mock that came out, I think it's just mock draft 1, which looks like the Jets have 2 top 4 picks. That's good for them. I don't think this is up to date. It has us picking 12 and 14. And then the mock draft has us going with quarterbacks, both picks. So again, $1 billion company, great game. So with that, boys, we're gonna go ahead and simulate the playoffs here. And how funny would it be? How funny would it be if we take the Cleveland Browns, arguably the worst team in football, and bring them to the playoffs in just 1 season, which it should just never happen. Thankfully, it does look like we didn't make the playoffs. We actually only won 1 more game the rest of the season. It's just so hilarious how the simulation works in this game and like the inconsistency. So as you saw, following a 3 away game winning streak, we proceed to lose our next 7. Thankfully, beat the Bengals week 18, so we didn't lose literally every game the rest of the season. But I guess at the end of the day, that's kind of what I hoped for, which unfortunately in the NFC, the Rams finished with the 7th best record in football, so there's a chance to win the Super Bowl, and we're picking dead last with their first round pick that we have. We finished with the top 20 offense, which isn't too terrible, I suppose. Our defense at least rose from 30th to 21st. I mean, not a bad season for Shedeur at all. Like I told you guys, he was on pace to throw for 4,200 yards. I think he did throw more interceptions in the second half of the season than touchdowns, but overall, that's not a bad season at all. Rather not, know he ends up being our starter long-term remains to be seen. We'll have to see what his overall got up to. But I guess also it depends on like what the quarterback class is looking like this year. There's no good quarterbacks. I'm not going to force a quarterback pick. But again, a lot will be determined by how much his overall actually went up this season. Now, on the ground, love to see this from Quinshon Judkins. 1,300 yards, 5 yards per carry, and 13 touchdowns. He fumbled 4 times, but Dylan Sampson fumbled 5. 5 fumbles and 58 carries is atrocious. So he might end up being cut in the offseason. Now, through the air, Denzel Boston, my brother. 1,667 yards and 8 touchdowns. Surely won him Offensive Rookie of the Year. Dude, our 2 rookie receivers, this is why I wanted to start them. 1,263 yards, 5 touchdowns. We might not have to sign or draft another receiver the rest of this rebuild. It's just like, unfortunately, in this Browns offense, for whatever reason, the top 2 receivers are the only ones that even get targets. Gotta make sure I keep that in mind when like constructing this roster throughout the rebuild. Judkins had 4 touchdowns through the air. Tyquan Thornton only had 166 yards. But if anything, very, very promising from our top 2 young receivers. I mean, that's gotta be the best rookie season of all time, right? That's so funny, dude. We actually had both of our rookie receivers break all-time rookie single-season records. Denzel Boston broke the receiving yard rookie record, and Casey Concepcion broke the single-season rookie reception record. So at least we'd probably be set there for the duration of this rebuild. Okay, hold on. A lot happened. A lot happened in the second half of the season. So Carson Swessinger, 150 tackles, 8 sacks from the linebacker position. Laiatu Latu finished with 19 sacks. Now, I don't know how many of those was with the Browns. Jared Verse got 10 sacks second half of the season, so at least he has finally reached his potential, and I think he can get even better, obviously. But like, my main question here is that after picking up Latu at the trade deadline, it's like, if him and Jared Verse both balled out like we think they did second half of the season, how did we only win 1 game? It doesn't make any sense. So he did. He definitely balled out. He had 4 sacks the week we traded for him against the Saints. I did the math, 12 and a half sacks. 12 and a half sacks he put up second half of the season after we traded for him. So him and Jared Verse put up 21 sacks between the 2. And somehow, some way, we only won 1 game with that being the case. Also had Denzel Ward with 5 interceptions. You had Grant Delpit with 4. I think Tyson Campbell actually had a pretty good season himself, up to an 81 rating with a superstar now. So I'm assuming he can be our cornerback too for the majority of this rebuild. It's just a little confusing because it's like, how did we individually do so well defensively? I have so many sacks, so many forced turnovers, but at the end of the day, we finished with the 21st ranked defense. I mean, we actually finished tied with the most sacks in the NFL, which is insane. We also finished like tied for 5th in interceptions this season, so I think that probably puts us like top 10 in turnovers caused as well. So I don't know how we caused like the top 10 most turnovers in football this season. We tied the league lead for sacks as a team, but finished with the 21st defense. Like, something's not adding up. Matthew Stafford wins MVP. John Harbaugh wins Coach of the Year. Ooh, Denzel Boston only came in 6th for the Offensive Player of the Year voting, which is insane considering he had almost 1,700 yards. Defensive Player of the Year went to Latu, which is hilarious because I just randomly traded for him because it was just like the best trade value. So I really think we might have accidentally made one of the best deals in rebuild history, bringing him in. Like, he's probably already like a 90 overall after winning Defensive Player of the Year, which is not a good thing. It would be a good thing if I locked him down to that long-term extension when we traded for him, but now he's probably going to cost twice, if not 3 times as much. All because the game screwed me. So hopefully we can figure that out sooner rather than later. Offensive Rookie of the Year, of course, goes to Denzel Boston as Casey Concepcion in 2nd. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to David Bailey. Unfortunately, Warren wasn't in the top 10, which is kind of crazy considering he put up 121 tackles from the free safety position, which let's check, a little sneak peek. He's up to an 82 overall, which is perfect. That's why we took a shot on him as our starter. Which with that, let's go ahead and reveal everybody's progression this season. Team up to an 85 rated, 84 offense, 87 defense. Shador Sanders didn't hit that 80, but he is up to a 79. So he really only went up like 6 overall on his own this season after putting up 4,000 yards. That's just why getting that normal development increase to star is so important. And that's why I'm still definitely going to be considering a quarterback with the first pick in the draft, depending on who's there. Okay, hold on a second. Judkins, he's up to a real 88 rated. Denzel Boston, without his face, up to an 86 overall. Spencer Fano up to an 84. Casey Concepcion up to an 84 as well. Hero Fanon only up to an 82. And Markel Bell, who we got the deadline, up to an 80. So outside of maybe Shador Sanders, this offense progressed magnificently this first season. Now defensively, Schlesinger up to an 88. Jared Verse finally got to that 90. Mason Graham up to an 85. Denzel Ward up to a 94. I think that's what he was at the start of the season. Okay, this is a little disappointing, not gonna lie. He only went up 1 overall the rest of the season after putting up 12.5 sacks in 9 games. Won Defensive Player of the Year, and he's only an 84. So, I mean, actually, for me, I suppose that's a good thing because his contract that I'm eventually gonna have to negotiate won't be as expensive as what I thought. But overall, I say this to say a pretty successful season for what we needed this year, despite only winning 6 games. I love in this game how they just obviously do not have the logic of like not necessarily firing a coaching staff after a bad first year in charge. Titans have a bad season, their entire first year coaching staff gone. Saints coordinator's gone. Commanders entire staff gone. Raiders coordinator's gone. Jets fake coordinator's fired. The Chiefs coordinators got fired, and Andy Reid retired. All right, very curious what this latest mock draft has us going with. So we do pick 9th in the draft, and it says we're gonna go Emmett Redmond, who unfortunately says his talent is round 2 to 3, which right below him is Gabe Kendricks, who we do have scouted, and it says he's around 1 to 2 talent, so maybe this guy could be our quarterback of the future. I mean, he looks good, dude. A few accuracy problems, but maybe Gabe Kendricks is the guy that we need to elevate this team to the next level, and then possibly we could trade Shedeur for something half decent in return. And then what we end up doing with our second pick remains to be seen. It all depends on what the Rams end up doing. Now, one important note that I do want to make before we get into our first offseason is that Shedeur still has a chance for his dev trade to go up to star, and that's probably the only thing that can save him as our long-term starter. If I have the chance to actually get myself a first-round caliber quarterback, I'm probably going to do it because he probably comes with star development. It's just so vital for your quarterback's development in this game to at least have star dev, because I with normal dev, I don't think Shedeur's ever going to get to like the mid-80s. But again, it could completely change this offseason, as a lot of these players could still get a dev trait bump. Like, I totally expect Denzel Boston after his season to at least go up to superstar, maybe even X Factor. And also, as we made it to the playoffs here, we do need to root against the Rams, because if the Rams get first rounded, that means we get a better draft pick. Come on, Dan Campbell, please, I'm begging. Gosh dang it. I have a feeling they're just going to win the Super Bowl, and we're going to end up with pick 32. Yes! Giving up 56 points in the playoffs is diabolical, especially with Myles Garrett on your defense. Let's go ahead and get to this Super Bowl week to see if Shedeur can save his future here in Cleveland. So your year 1 Super Bowl champion is, funny enough, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who we already put up 40 points against this season. But a massive, massive week for this rebuild, boys, as we check our lineup to see if Shedeur got that dev trait increase, which he didn't. He unfortunately hangs on to that normal dev as Denzel Boston up to superstar, although the good news on defense looks like Latu up to a superstar, which unfortunately now means I'm probably going to have to pay him $30 million a season, which I still don't understand why it says he wants to see what the market has to offer in the offseason. Brother, you're here for at least 2 years. But I am hopeful with a successful offseason that we can see ourselves maybe win 8-9 games next year. But a lot to go through before we get to that point, boys. We definitely should be picking up the 5th-year option for Jared Verse, but like the problem is it says we'll keep him under contract for another season at $48 million. I don't think that's real. This is like another thing they've screwed up. Like, it's not going to cost $48 million in real life for Jared Verse's 5th-year option. God dang, and same thing with him. I mean, this is only $32 million. I think it's just inaccurately like linked to their overall, and that's just not how it is. I say that to say I don't know if it's even worth it picking up their 5th-year options instead of just locking them down to long-term extensions, because I probably can get them for cheaper. The entire point of the 5th-year option is to lock them down for an extra year a little bit cheaper. So honestly, I think I'm just gonna let it ride. I'm just not gonna pick up their 5th-year option and just lock them down to long-term extensions and probably get them for cheaper, which will take us into free agency prep, which I'm curious to see how much cap room we actually have. $156 million. I guess we'll just trust our GM with Schlesinger. Hopefully he doesn't want to request a trade. But Elgton Jenkins, he wants to negotiate a contract again. I don't know why, because he's locked down for another 3 years, I think. It's like, this is what I'm saying, dude. I don't know what he wants. Like, you would think the initial offer isn't so bad that they're just going to walk away, but you can't trust it. I think the only thing you can do is actually go into contracts and look yourself manually. Actually, you can't, because it just shows his salary overview. So I legitimately have no idea at all what he wants here. So I guess run the risk of him just rejecting the offer straight up. It's dumb. So dumb. He just wants a 1-year extension, which he's interested in. I love, like, when it gets to crunch time in the contract negotiations and, like, they're really close to signing, but their patience is running thin, and you should just be able to give an answer that gets them to accept. But unfortunately, it will give you the same 3 options back to back to back. So I guess I'll just reduce his salary, add a year, see if he rejects. He accepts. Thank God. I would just feel so much more confident in this rebuild moving forward if this never happened. But in the meantime, fellas, at least we have ourselves a good chunk of change. Which, let's hope there's some big-time free agents out there that we can actually spend that money on. Okay, so Chris Olave's here, which unfortunately, as you guys already saw, like, there's no point in getting ourselves a premier wide receiver 3 when, like, the third wide receiver on offense never really gets snaps. And also, funny little bug that your boy has tested out and experimented with, and it seems to be the case 95% of the time, whether it be in just actual free agency frenzy or undrafted free agency frenzy, it is impossible, literally impossible, to sign the highest overall player in free agency or undrafted free agency frenzy. Like, it doesn't matter. I could offer Chris Olave a $100 million a year contract and he's going to reject it. Just dumb, just dumb. So unfortunately, until they fix that, I highly doubt you guys will ever see me sign the highest rated free agent in free agency frenzy and the highest rated undrafted free agency. But let's talk about the players that we could actually sign. So Joey Bosa, don't need him. Again, we don't need a wide receiver. Now, I could potentially sign Gervon Dexter Sr., put him alongside Mason Graham to create an insane front four. Probably a better option than Ed Oliver, so I will actually put out a contract offer. As you see here where it shows salary overview, you can at least kind of gauge what he's asking for here. 3 years, a $27 million bonus, $19 million a year APY. I just really wish when you went into this screen that this offer matched what they were asking for. So all I really can do from here is just try and match what that prior screen said. I just wish there was like somewhere on the screen, like right now, that you could see that you're actually matching his offer. But anyways, we'll submit it out there. 92% interest. I wouldn't mind locking him down for an extra 2 years. That would keep him around until he's 30. And just like that, we have the maximum offer. But again, genuinely no idea to know whether or not we're actually going to sign him. Now, outside of that, I really don't know if there's anybody else I'm even too interested in. Only guy I'm really interested in outside of Dexter is Ezra Cleveland. He can play right guard for me, start over Tevin Jenkins, but he's like 29 years old, so he's not going to get any better. And I probably could just draft his replacement since the guard is so overpowered in the draft this year. I think Gervon Dexter Sr. is the only player that even makes sense to offer, which would literally leave us with over $140 million of cap space. So unfortunately, can advance to the next week as everything at this point is just left up to the Madden simulation gods. And would you look at that? Gervon Dexter Sr. has officially locked in with the Cleveland Browns, 5 years, $19 million per season. Chris Olave goes to the 49ers on a 7-year contract. Joey Bosa, Chase Brown to the Patriots, even though the Patriots have Travion Henderson. Now, I simulated to the end of free agency frenzy just because I wanted to see, yep, the issue is still going on. So teams will literally sign multiple players at the same position. So you see the Cardinals just signed Justin Fields and Gardner Minshew. It's typically worse than this. It's a lot more noticeable when there's like a lot of really good free agents at the same position, but I've legitimately seen teams sign 7 quarterbacks in the same free agency. I've seen teams sign 5 running backs in the same free agency. Here, now look at this. Here we go. Here's a good example. The New York Giants signed 4 left guards, all like the same overall. Why? I'll make it 5. 5 left guards. Buccaneers decided to sign 3 left edge rushers. Just kidding, make it 4. And I suppose to try and replace Latu, the Colts, they went out and signed 3, or make it 4. 5 right edge rushers. Raiders signing 4 defensive tackles, all 74 rated. They don't test their game. I don't get it. Anyways, enough of the negativity as we advance to the next week, as we're getting super close to that NFL draft, which the latest and greatest mock draft has an edge rusher going to the Titans pick 1. Nothing but edge rushers the first 3 picks. So the number 1 quarterback on the board, Eric Cano, apparently going 5 to the Dolphins to replace Malik Willis. And he does definitely look like the best quarterback. Now the question is, like, do I try to trade up for him? Dude, he ran a 4.3 40-yard dash at the pro day. Oh my God. A awareness, A break sack. So he's definitely the top QB on the board. Now, I just don't know if I have enough to trade up, though, unfortunately. We have the 9th pick. Apparently, we're going to be going Emmett Redmond, which is just not going to be the case. If I'm sticking and picking at 9, we're going to go Gabe Kendricks. He's a around 1 to 2 talent, where Emmett Redmond's around 2 to 3 talent. So Gabe Kendricks here might very well end up being our quarterback of the future. He's definitely not, I mean, he's one of the fastest, the strongest quarterback at the combine. Now, the only question is whether or not we can actually trade up to 5 and get Eric from the Dolphins. Because, I mean, he definitely looks a little bit better. I mean, you can just tell straight from where it shows the round 1 talent. But I have to say that 4.3 40-yard dash at his pro day is mighty, mighty enticing. I mean, the only thing that is wrong with him is he looks injury prone. but all of his accuracy is good. He probably can be converted and be a superstar running back. But let's see what it would take to trade up, because we definitely have, some ammo. But again, with our top 10 pick, whether it be at 9 or 5, we're going to go quarterback. And then with the Rams pick, we are going to not get the pick until 27, which it still has us going center here. All right, so I suppose we go pick by pick here until we get to the Dolphins at number 5. So the draft is going exactly like the mock draft says. 3 edge rushers in the top 3, then a wide receiver at 4. Now, the only question is, how much is it going to take to move up just 4 spots in the draft? I know when you're trading down, dude, you can get an exorbitant amount. I could probably pick up 2 extra first-round picks from going 5 to 9, but is the logic the same in reverse with the CPU? Again, I'm not, trading anything away crazy here, because we still can get ourselves a really good quarterback at 9 if it came down to it. I want to keep all of our picks from this year. I would be willing to give up one of our thirds from 2029. They need a quarterback, so I don't know, maybe they'll take Dylan Gabriel off my hands. Oh, they also need right tackle. We have Titus Howard now. So let's see if this is enough, and the trade was accepted just like that. Oh my God. So I genuinely did not expect that, but it takes Dylan Gabriel, Titus Howard, our 9th pick, and a third from 2029 to move up 4 spots in the draft to get the number 1 quarterback target in the entire draft. I don't know how much of a difference it truly is between Kendricks and Cano, but regardless if it's just 1 or 2 overall, I feel like it was worth it for what we had to trade away. So Eric Cano is going to be the pick, 6 foot 217, 23 years of age, out of Texas. I know they've said this so many times in their franchise history, but let us hope that Eric Cano will be the one who finally can turn things around here in Cleveland. Hopefully, as a rookie, can lead us to 8-9 wins. That's kind of the goal. And this is definitely going to go down as a controversial decision, with this guy coming in to start ahead of Shedeur Sanders, who's probably on his way out. But hopefully, Cano can make me look good and show that he was the right pick. Excellent pick, 9 in true value. Got him at 5, which is good for a quarterback. Hidden dev, 94 speed is insane. Can't see the rest of his ratings, since the draft card's in the way. But a 94 speed quarterback is insane. And it's got to be the fastest quarterback I've seen in all Madden 27 so far. So good start to the draft, I must say. Now, we don't get to pick again until 27, unfortunately. And there's still the glitch where it says the Dolphins took Cano, says we took Emmett Redmond, which is definitely not the case. So what do we do here with our 2nd pick in the 1st round? It's a good-looking offensive tackle here, Joey Reinhardt. I mean, we could kick him in the guard if we needed to. 41 reps of the bench press. You guys know when you see an offensive or defensive lineman have the most reps of the bench press at the combine, at his pro day, you know he's going to be an absolute dog. I mean, yeah, dude, he has A awareness, A pass block power, A run block power. He's going to be an absolute stud. Joey Reinhardt is going to be the pick and probably be pushed inside to right guard. Let's get an aura rating here as he walks out on the stage. He looks like a lineman, that's for sure. Come on, hidden dev and a decent rating's all I'm asking for. Comes in 26 in true value, got him at 27, so a good value pick. Comes in normal dev. Oh no. It's a stinker. 95 strength, but it doesn't really matter. I could still kick him inside to guard and he can start over Tevin Jenkins, but that's still kind of an absolute disaster, isn't it? It's okay, because we can still make up for that nonsense with our 1st pick in the 2nd round here. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Cornerback is one of our biggest positions of need. We still need a really good number 3 cornerback. And DeAndre Holmes here looks like a dog. He's a scheme fit for us. And he just ran a 4.3 40-yard dash at his pro day. I mean, how do I not take him? You look at his skills as well. B awareness, has A man coverage. This is an incredible man cover corner that we can get here at the start of the 2nd round. Again, that runs a 4.3 40-yard dash. So DeAndre Holmes, welcome to Cleveland. I don't know if that's something you actually want to hear in your life, is welcome to Cleveland. And that's actually hilarious. Literally the best player we drafted today, and we get him in the 2nd round. Now, does he have hidden dev? Yes, he does. 94 speed. The same speed as our quarterback. I think we found ourselves, a pretty good cornerback number 3 for next season. Now, the question at this point is, how can I follow that up with our 3rd round pick upcoming? I don't even really know what I need at this point, so I'm probably just going to try and find the best player available. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a Sam linebacker in the entire roster. Zach Bender is definitely the best Sam left in the draft, although he doesn't look that great. He's the strongest Sam linebacker left. Outside of power moves, has pretty good stats. Again, I don't expect him to be a world beater or anything, but he's going to be the pick. As long as he's not an absolute stinker and can start for us, I think it'll be a dub. He's going to come in 93 in true value, got him at 73. He does have hidden dev, which in my opinion is all that matters. So again, I know he's not the highest rated player in the draft, but I still think think it's a good pick. Completely forgot I had 2 third-round picks here. Hold on, I think I found myself one of the best defensive tackles in the draft. Mark Madsen. He's almost 400 pounds. I know we already have good depth at defensive tackle after signing Jervon Dexter, but at the same time, dude, I don't mind adding more talent to that position, especially at 400 pounds worth. 43 reps of the 225 at the pro day. He's actually pretty freaking nimble for somebody that's 400 pounds, dude. B awareness, B block, shed, A hip power, B tackling. The finesse and power moves a little iffy, but you kind of expect that from a nose tackle. Mark is going to be the pick. I think he's literally, he might be the heaviest player I've ever drafted in Madden franchise. Not just Madden 27 ever. I've never seen somebody organically 383 freaking pounds in this game. I want to see him, dude. I'm actually excited. Is he big? Is he thick? Not as thick as what I thought. 25 in true value. Got him at 78. Hidden dev as well, 95 strength. An absolute dog. So outside of a couple picks, man, this has been another absolute banger, and hopefully can continue with our 2 4th-round picks here. Again, there's no like real needs that just like come off the top of my head, so the rest of this draft probably just gonna go with best player available, and that might actually be RJ Graham here. I know I don't necessarily need tight ends. I have Harold Fanon, but the tight end 2 actually gets some touches in the Browns offense. Actually gets more touches, or as many touches as our wide receiver 3. So RJ Graham looks like a freaking monster, dude. 4.48 40-yard dash, the best vertical, one of the strongest tight ends at his pro day. Doesn't really seem like a good blocker, which we kind of need because Harold Fanon isn't either, but he looks like the best player available. Like, yeah, we don't have everything scouted on him, but he has A awareness, B break tackle, A deep route running, B trucking. RJ Graham is going to be the selection, and he's going to come in as the 52nd best player. Got him at 105. Our incredible generational draft continues here. Hidden dev, 6'6", 260, 88 speed, dude. So with this pick, our new rookie quarterback has 2 incredible vertical threats at the tight end position. All right, my Mickey Mouse run's got it in there, right? I might go with another guard here, Mark Johnson, at the end of the 4th round. B awareness. I mean, he has A lead block, A run block power. At this point in the draft, you're just kind of like just taking players based off vibes. I mean, he's 2nd fastest left guard, one of the strongest as well. I don't think he's going to be like one of the best players in the world. I mean, he definitely doesn't have the aura since he looks like a toe. Going to come in 49 in true value. I genuinely, like, that's insane, actually. Hidden dev as well. See, I'm telling you, this is why you don't draft guards until like day 3. There's no point. You can find random guys like Mark Johnson who just spawn or a top 50 player in the class. Oh, I didn't realize this is going to be my last pick in the draft. And I do wonder, I know wide receiver 3 doesn't play much for me, but I do wonder if I should at least get 1 wide receiver here, which if we're being totally honest, like none of them look good. Oh, wait a second, hold on. Miguel Villa. It says he's a projected undrafted free agent, but ran a 4.39 at his pro day. The thing that jumped out to me was A catching, A short route running, B awareness. He has some that sucks though. F release, F deep route running. I mean, at this point, you're just taking a flyer on a guy. But by far, he stopped me in my tracks there as I was scrolling down. The best wide receiver prospect I see left on the board. He's going to come in 53 in true value, and this is crazy. This is crazy, dude. Normal dev though, which is a little unfortunate. But again, taking a guy in the 5th round that comes in as a 53 in true value, will he be our wide receiver 3? I don't know. But another absolute banger of a pick regardless, even though it doesn't have hidden dev, as we get to advance to the end of the draft now to see what all those players are actually rated. There's an 81 overall undrafted free agent running back. Never in my life have I seen such a thing. Now, the unfortunate circumstance here is the fact that I told you guys earlier, we are not going to be able to sign him because it is physically impossible. I'll show you. So his desired contract is 2 years, a $7 million bonus, $8 million bonus at that, and almost $8 million per year on his contract. So we'll jump in, we'll negotiate with him. We'll give him 3 years instead. We'll give him, what did he want, 7 years? Like, we'll go $8 million a year, which he's, again, just not going to accept. And he wanted that $8 million bonus. We'll give him, I don't know, a $12 million bonus. I'll even guarantee all 3 years. So this is way more than what he's asking for. I'm not even going to be able to negotiate with him because he's going to accept it immediately, as you see. And as much as it sucks, and I'll show you in just a minute after we see our rookies' ratings, he's just not going to accept because it is physically impossible for you to sign the highest rated player in undrafted or free agency frenzy. Now, the good news, though, is I do need a kicker. And because this guy is the 2nd on the board in terms of ratings, Antonio Blackwell, as a 77 overall undrafted free agent, more than likely will sign with us. Give him 3 years. I'll even do, let's say, $2 million a season. We'll pitch our long-term vision to him. At this point, I guess we'll be straight about the situation. And Blackwell is going to accept our offer. Whether or not he signs, I don't know. I mean, we're the only team negotiating with him. Now, there's a 73 overall undrafted free agent defensive tackle that we definitely don't need, but I guess I might as well offer him. Again, not quite too sure what he wants, but he's going to accept our offer right off the rip. Now, before we advance to the next hour to see if we get any of these three, I do want to finally go see that draft recap. And it's honestly one of the best draft classes I think I've ever put together. And that's so funny because the last 4 picks were like just purely off of vibes. If you know what you're doing, I'm telling you, drafting players are so easy. I'm most excited though about the future of our franchise, Eric Cano. 78 overall, comes in with hidden development. If that is superstar, star, X factor, I don't know. 94 throw power, good deep accuracy, decent medium, good short, 85 throwing the run, 87 break sack. And not to mention, we can put him through training camp at the beginning of his rookie year. So before he even plays his first game, he might already be an 80, 81 rated quarterback, which makes me feel not so bad, you know, starting him over Shedeur Sanders, who we're probably just going to trade away at the start of this season. God, I didn't even see that. DeAndre Holmes, 79 overall, dude. Holy crap. I think, honest to God, I might go ahead and put him as our number 2 cornerback over Tyson Campbell. I know that seems crazy, but I want to make sure he's getting all the playing time, and by the end of his rookie season, he could be higher rated than Tyson Campbell. He might be at 83, 84 overall by the end of his rookie season. Like I told you, we didn't have a Sam linebacker on the entire roster. I know Quincy Williams currently starting there, but he's 30 years old. Let's let Zach Bender get the start. Most disappointing pick was probably Joey Reinhardt here, coming in with normal development. I mean, a good rating, but I told you what I'm more than likely just going to do here is kick him into right guard, which upped his overall to 77, which means he's literally only 1 overall less than Tevin Jenkins. And I know like he's not going to progress rapidly or anything, again, considering he's only normal dev, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start him in his rookie season. And just now seeing too, Villa, who was supposed to be an undrafted free agent, is 74 overall as our 5th round pick. I don't know if he's actually going to be our 3rd wide receiver. Now that's going to be Tyquan Thornton, or I could just go ahead and start him too. Should I do that? I mean, screw it, dude. Why not? I mean, Tyquan Thornton's the higher overall, but Villa obviously has the higher ceiling. So if you technically consider him a starter, boys, somehow, some way, out of our first draft class, we actually drafted 5 immediate starters. Now let's go ahead and ruin the good vibes and show you that we are not going to be able to get Trent Stoudemire. And there it is. What did I tell you? Immediately signs with the New England Patriots. Even though, didn't they sign Chase Brown in free agency and they already have Travion Henderson? So as an 81 rated generational hidden development power back, he's not even going to like crack the 2 deep. Look at that though. Would you look at that? He signed for 1 year with a $3 million signing bonus and $3.71 million per season. Do you not remember what I offered him? So throughout all the videos I've done so far on Madden 27, not to mention I've done a ton of testing offline, not recording, I've came to the conclusion that you just genuinely cannot sign the highest rated undrafted free agent or normal free agent in the frenzy periods. It is genuinely impossible, even if you offer them 3-4 times more of what they eventually signed for. It's dumb. At least we did get the kicker though. Literally is the 4th string. A generational prospect that goes undrafted starts as the 4th string. So we'll say I do find it a little insane that here at the start of season number 2, although all I've done is draft players, I made a couple trades, nothing too crazy, just signed 1 player at an offseason free agency, and we're already up to an 87 overall team, an 87 offense and 89 defense. Again, like I feel like it's a little overinflated. I don't feel like we have a chance to compete for anything this year, but it's a good step in the right direction, I'll say. Oh wait, I think Jared Verse is ready to talk contract. See, it just sucks because I don't know what to offer him here. So I was scared to adjust the length, so I just went in with a 2-year extension. And I was kind of hoping I'd get the option from this point to up the year some, because obviously when I tried to up the years myself before with Lactu, it didn't work out too well. Let me test his floor and see what he says about that. Oh God, his patience went all the way down. That's good. None of these offers allowed me to give him more money. So I guess I could guarantee a year, see what that does. It'll probably bring his patience down. All the way down to 2, man. Oh God, I guess I'll raise his bonus by $2 million, but he accepted it. That's okay. All right. Not the contract I wanted, you know, because of the game's faults. I was too scared to up the contract length anymore. I was never given the option to up the contract length in the negotiation process, but I guess for now, we get Jared Verse for at least another 2 seasons. I didn't even realize that defensive tackle that we drafted, he's going to come in as a defensive tackle number 3. Actually starts at high overall than Mike Hall Jr., so I'm glad we drafted him. But now time for the most important parts of the entire season, and that, my friends, is training camp. Where before we actually start, I made sure I got camp counselor upgraded all the way. But if all goes well, our rookie quarterback should end training camp higher rated than Shedeur Sanders, so we still need to trade away. Which, as long as I don't screw up on this attempt, I think we're gonna get gold on the very first try. And even though he is a rookie, and I don't know if he has like superstar, star, X Factor already, whatever he starts with, there's a chance, as long, I guess if it's X Factor, I can't upgrade it anymore. But as long as it's superstar or star, there's a chance that could get upgraded here, which it doesn't. We'll again still take the 2 skill point boost and 4,000 XP, which we do only get the 2 skill point upgrade, unlike the 3 we got from Shedeur Sanders season number 1. But I'm gonna put them all towards the strong arm, which does bump our rookie quarterback all the way up to an 80, which means before he even takes a snap is already higher rated than Shedeur Sanders, which surely somebody's gonna offer me something for him, right? Now let's go and get Judkins a bit of a boost here. Oh my God, on the very last play, I can't tell you last time I got gold in this running back drill. They made it so much harder in Madden 27, but hopefully we get rewarded, and Judkins with that gold goes up to superstar. Or not. We'll still take the upgrade, gets him up to 89. Now at the wide receiver drill, we might actually be able to get Denzel Boston up to an 89, maybe even a 90. And unless something goes terribly wrong here, we should be able to get that gold if we make one more catch. Oh, I have a bad feeling I'm going to choke this. Oh God. Feet in bounds. That's a gold for Denzel Boston. Okay, thank God we got gold in that last one. Come on, give me that X Factor upgrade, dude. That would be massive. We'll still take it. Which it does bump him up all the way to 89. Now, see if we can get Markel Bell a bit of an upgrade. For a 6'9", fella, he is moving. And we already got gold. My favorite drill. Best drill of all time. Gonna bump him up just a little bit up to 81 overall. And unless I royally screw things up here, oh God, oh Lord, we should be able to get another gold for Jared Verse, which maybe, oh God, bad guy. Okay. Just run him into the quarterback, I guess. Sack him, please. That was a little bit more stressful than what it should have been. That's another gold for Jared Verse, which bumps him up to, didn't even get him to a 91. Already got a goal with Schlesinger with 40 seconds to go. Gonna be able to get him up to 90. And we're also gonna get our free safety, another little upgrade. He's actually gonna be able to go all the way up from 82 to 84. Not bad, not bad. So even with the training camp boost, we stayed at 87 rated with the 87 offense. I think our defense might have went up from 88 to 89. But again, like I know the team rating is really high already, but I don't expect us to make the playoffs this year. 8-9 wins and I'll be happy. But honestly, with another good offseason, we genuinely could compete for a Super Bowl in year 3. But before we start the preseason here, you guys know what we have to do. Have to see if we can find ourselves a suitor for Shedeur Sanders here, which actually, hold on. I have a good idea. Got a high IQ plan here as we can put him through this pocket presence drill, hopefully get him up to like an 80 overall so we can get a little bit more value in a potential trade. Unless something goes terribly wrong here, we should be able to get gold with him on the very first attempt. I think I need one more. One more target hit with 8 seconds to go. There it is, baby. There's gold. Maybe we can even get a 2 overall upgrade. One more for good measure, one more for good luck. We only got the one that does bring him up to an 80 overall, which after all this time, we're finally going to part ways. And I think there is, you have the Cardinals here interested in him, so a couple teams do want him. That's funny. Kenneth Grant would actually be a really good offer if we didn't already have 3 incredible defensive tackles. Same thing with Devondre Sweat. Don't really need another corner. DK Metcalf is actually kind of crazy, but again, we don't need a 3rd wide receiver. I don't even know what we do need. Like if I had one position to upgrade, it would probably be guard, but am I really going to trade Shedeur Sanders for an offensive guard? From the Falcons, we could possibly get Chris Lindstrom. Now, the issue is he's one of the highest rated guards in football, but he's 30 years old, and in Madden now, you have to be worried. If they're 30 years old, they can retire at any moment, even though I think he just signed a contract extension. Speaking of contract extension, how expensive is that? He's going to be making, okay, that's actually not that bad. His cap hit is as large as this season, which we can take because we have like $80 million. So ideally, if we trade for him, he stays for another 3 seasons. Let's see. We're going to offer this to the Falcons. And it's not even close. The Steelers want him. I didn't even see that a second ago. Zach Frazier as our long-term starting center would not be bad at all. We'll submit it. It's pretty gosh dang close. Now the thing is, we do have Elkton locked down for a while, which we could just kick one of them to left guard, and I think that'd be fine. With that being the case, let's go ahead and see if we can ship on Zion Johnson, see if that's enough to see this deal through. It's not, but it is very, very close. We don't need Quincy Williams anymore. I don't want to re-sign him either. Oh, that's so close. There's not even space there. Can you just go ahead and accept it? With the trade being so close, a 2030 7th round pick should be enough. And with this, boys, we finally have our long-term center locked down for hopefully the duration of this rebuild. And with a little bit of shuffling, the offensive line is now set, but I think it's at least like a top 10 offensive line in football at this point. And you know what's so funny about that trade is I didn't even think about it. We traded Shedeur Sanders in our division, which poor Shedeur, I didn't even realize they also drafted a quarterback themselves, Dalvin Collins, who looks pretty good, but curious to see who they start. Like, I don't feel like they would have traded for Shedeur Sanders if it was going to be their starter, but if he does start for him this season, we're going to have to play him twice a year, and I really hope he doesn't make me look like the dumb hick that I really truly am. Good news is we just scored 52 points in our week 2 preseason game. Oh, that's actually so funny. The quarterback that I was going to draft if we didn't trade up for Cano got sacked 4 times, had an absolute stinker. So at least in our first matchup, looks like I made the right decision. Ooh, Raheem Sanders, 5 carries, 3 touchdowns. Might have to get him some playing time this season since Dylan Sampson fumbles every time he touches the freaking football, dude. I swear, dude, he literally fumbles once like every 7-8 carries. Well, unfortunately, we finished the preseason 1-2. It doesn't look like Shedeur fared much better, but at the end of our second preseason, the team officially comes in as an 87 overall, and we already see our young rookie quarterback is a superstar, up to an 81 rated. It was tough, but I do ultimately think we made the right decision drafting this guy, starting him over Shedeur, because I'm telling you, by the end of this year, especially with that superstar, he could possibly be pushing a 90 overall. There are now a few positions I do need to sign out of free agency here, starting with the backup quarterback, because behind our rookie, all we have is Taylon Green, and Anthony Richardson's there, Gardner Minshew, which I do feel like we just need a veteran. You know what? Jameis Winston. Let's bring Jameis back to Cleveland. Even if we have another bad year, at least it'll be fun. I'm going to lie and emphasize immediate playing time, and then threaten to sign somebody else. Works like a charm, boys. Works like a charm. And also, I just now realized we only have 1 strong safety in the entire roster. Oh, and he's there, so I guess we go ahead and sign DeMar Hamlin. Again, just lie to him. I feel like that's bad. That's really bad to do. But we lied to him about playing immediately, then asking him for a hometown discount, even though I don't think he's from Cleveland. That worked, though. Sometimes it pays off to be a liar. Oh, would you look at our week 1 matchup, boys? Which, to be fair, we beat them away from home last year, and this time around, we're actually 5 overall higher than them. So let's just see how we start off the season against Shedeur Sanders in week 1. I do feel like a loss would be a really, really bad omen for the rest of this season. And we won! Pretty much dead even yardage-wise. Oh, God, poor Shedeur Sanders, dude. Dalvin Collins gets the start. He's going to be the backup, so I don't know why I traded so much for him. But crazy enough, dude, we got to this quarterback 7 times this game. Ooh, Dexter with 2 sacks in his Browns debut. Latu, who I don't think is still signed a contract extension, he got 2 sacks. Jared Verse with a sack. JOK with a sack, who he is now healthy. We've declared him healthy, and he just signed a contract extension for us. A half a sack from Denzel Ward and Nathaniel Watson. And not to mention, a pretty good goddamn NFL debut from our rookie quarterback. But now what we're going to do from here, boys, is once again simulate to the midway point of the season. Get to the trade deadline. I don't think we're going to be doing much business at the deadline this year. Like, even if we're competing, I don't think we're going to buy anybody. And if we're having a stinker, I don't think we really have anybody to sell, which we're already here. And we are currently 4-2, which, to be fair, this isn't actually the deadline. This is week 8. Crazy 2026, you don't have an option to advance the trade deadline, and in college football you can simulate to a specific week, but not in Madden. So let's advance to the actual trade deadline in week number 9, see if we get the win last week, which we did, 27-24, and we officially are now 5-2 on the year. But like, when you consider that our only 2 losses on the year are away to the Ravens and home to the Seahawks, we're having a pretty good goddamn season, especially considering the fact we put up 51 points on the Dolphins here. Dude, I'm actually so excited to see what this quarterback's overall is going to be by the end of the year. Now, this is another guy who the mock drafts kept having me draft, which I feel so bad for the Dolphins fans because they traded down for whatever reason, got this guy, and he's just apparently put up the biggest stinker of all time, especially when you consider he just lost by about 50 points in this game. But up to this point, fellas, I do think we have made the right decisions, and I do think we have a chance here to actually make the playoffs in year 2. Now, looking at the schedule, I mean, it's definitely tough. I mean, we have to play the Bengals twice. We got to travel to LA, which the Chargers are Madden 27 simulation's favorite team. I'm surprised they didn't win the Super Bowl first year. We should be able to beat the Cardinals. Away to the Rams is going to be tough. Got to play the Chiefs. Got to play the Ravens again, who already beat us, and then got to play the Broncos. So again, there is a chance we collapse and don't make the playoffs. But if we can just win 4 of these next 10 games, there is a chance that we could sneak in with a wild card spot. God dang it, dude. I forgot in this game, when you have the stuff set to manual, it still does the contract extensions for you. I didn't necessarily want to sign Mike Hall to a 2-year, $15 deal, but unfortunately, we're too late. But as mentioned in week 1, we did give out a respectable extension to JOK, who again is healthy today. But I think at this point in time, boys, we're not going to do any damage here at the deadline. We're just going to simulate straight at the playoffs and see if for the first time, I think since 2020 or 2021, the Cleveland Browns make their way back to the playoffs. Oh, that's so funny, dude. 9-8. So yeah, we did win 4 games in our last 10, but apparently it was just enough to grab the 7 seed, which Shador and the Steelers came dead last in the division. God, dude, why do we always suck coming out of the trade deadline? Literally, lost 5 games in a row, including a loss to the Cardinals, but luckily then won 4 out of the next 5 to clinch our first playoff berth of the day. Which unfortunately, we already played the Chargers week 10, lost by 2 touchdowns, and that's who we play here in the wild card round. And you consider they have 12 wins and our Madden favorite team in simulation, even though we have a 6 overall advantage here. More than likely, probably gonna get first round, but just the fact we brought the Browns to the playoffs in 2 years, I think is a massive dub. Finished with the NFL's number 2 offense with a rookie at the helm, by the way, and our defense continues to suck, and I don't understand why. That's crazy, dude. As a rookie quarterback, 4,900 yards, 32 touchdowns, and single-digit interceptions. 63% of his passes completed. Did take a lot of sacks, but he'll get better at that. I'm actually so excited after this type of year to see he might be like a 90 overall already. Like he might have won MVP, honestly, depending on what he did on the ground, which was not much. Now, Judkins, good season again, 1,400 yards, 12 touchdowns. I really would have liked to have seen more on the ground from Cano, considering he has 94 speed. At least, though, one of the highlights of my season is the fact that Dylan Sampson didn't fumble once. Do also love the fact that Denzel Boston apparently had a carry for a touchdown. He had more yards on the ground than what Raheem Sanders did. Brother, what is going on here? Casey Concepcion took the turn this year, 1,800 yards. That's going to be an all-time Browns record. 115 grabs and 17 touchdowns. So we might have a battle for the number 1 wide receiver spot here in Cleveland. But regardless, you know, let's not downplay what Denzel Boston did this season. 1,560 yards on 88 grabs, 8 touchdowns. Harold Fanon, good year, 690 yards, but clearly is number 3 in the pecking order here. Tyquan Thornton, actually from the wide receiver number 4 spot, had more touches than Miguel Villa, which is a little disappointing because I thought that was the whole point of having him as a wide receiver 3, but yeah, it's neither here nor there. The backup tight end, though, this is exactly why I drafted him, because in this playbook for this team, the tight end 2 gets as many touches as the wide receiver 3 and as the running back, and 31 grabs as the backup, 202 yards and a tutty, which he is up to a 78 overall. Now defensively, Schlesinger again led the team, 151 tackles, although didn't have as many sacks as last year. And talking about sacks, I don't know what happened here. I mean, we probably as a team had 30 less sacks than a year ago. We're running the same exact defense, have better players this year, but got to the quarterback like 30 less times. So I just cannot figure this game out at all, and I don't like it because we just gave Verse a massive extension, and Latu, just like, I don't get it, dude. He still says wants to see what the market has to offer in the offseason, but does he have, like, how many, is this the last year of his contract? No. What in the world? I don't know what happened here. I didn't do this, but he did sign a long extension, which if we're being honest, it's not for that much money. Like I was expecting to have to give him like $30-40 million a year, but I'll take it, but don't know how this happened. And we only had 4 interceptions on the entire year. That's weird. By chance, our rookie quarterback won MVP. It goes to Dak Prescott. He came all the way down in 8th, which again is incredible for a rookie quarterback. I'm assuming he had to have won like Offensive Rookie of the Year, right? We did, for the first time today, get Coach of the Year votes in just our 2nd season. Love to see it, dude. Casey Concepcion wins Offensive Player of the Year when Denzel Boston couldn't in his first year. Defensive Player of the Year goes to David Bailey. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Dalvin Collins, which again, for Shador Sanders. Wait, how does this even make sense? We beat them both times we played them. Did he have MVP votes? He didn't. How did we have more MVP votes? How does that work? We had more MVP votes. He wasn't even in the top 10. All the while, he ends up beating us out for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Oh, this game makes me want to take a shovel right to my head. Like, oh, he threw for less yards, threw for less touchdowns. Oh my God, he threw 4 less interceptions, so he should have won the award over us. Completed way less of his passes. He had the same amount of rushing yards as well. I don't get it, dude. And why I'm complaining so much about it is like that's gonna like hurt his overall quite a bit. From winning Offensive Rookie of the Year, he could have got upgraded to X Factor. He could have got an extra like 2 or 3 overall boost. But no, wrongly, this guy gets awarded Offensive Rookie of the Year, and that's going to take that big upgrade away from him. Imagine going for 5,000 yards as a rookie and 9 interceptions and not winning the Rookie of the Year. Insane. I'm going to stop complaining. We did have Holmes, our cornerback pick from last year, come in 4th for the Defensive Rookie of the Year voting, so that's promising. But after that snub, let's see what the team's overall is up to. As you see, 91 overall team with the 9 91 offense and 92 defense. Cano is all the way up to an 88 rated. And again, if we got that offense rookie of the year, he could have maybe been a 90, 91. Outside of him, though, we got Judkins up to a 92, Denzel Boston up to a 92, KC Concepcion up to a 91, Harold Fanon up to a 95, Markel Bell up to an 84, even Reinhardt, as a normal dev, is up to an 80, Zachary Frazier up to an 88, even got Johnson, our backup left guard, up to a 79, and Spencer Fano up to an 86, which defensively, we got Schlesinger up to a 92, Bender up to a 77. Curious why the edge rushers aren't progressing that fast, like Verse is only up to a 92, I guess he only had 10 sacks, Latu up to a 88, Dexter up to an 86, Mason Graham up to an 85, with that rookie that we drafted up to a 79. We have Holmes up to an 84, McNeil Ward up to an 86, which, to be completely fair, if somehow, someway we can upset the Chargers in the wild card round, we'll get the Colts in the divisional, who I think we probably could beat. But the problem is, I don't foresee us getting past the Chargers here, so let's just go ahead and get our disappointment out of the way. Can a rookie quarterback win his first ever playoff game against Madden 27's favorite team? I love the fact that it automates to this tab, so you don't know what happened, and we did lose 37-31. At least we were competitive, though, so I do definitely think this season was a step in the right direction. We just unfortunately got matched up against Madden's favorite team. The Chargers literally won everything. We outgained them by 100 yards. It was just those 2 interceptions, and we couldn't pass protect for some reason. It does suck, though, because like with the interceptions and with the sacks, I do feel like this was quite the winnable football game, especially when you consider we outgained them by 100 yards. Now, unfortunately, for whatever reason, we weren't able to run the ball. We only handed off 10 times. So hopefully that never happens again. And hopefully this never happens again either, allowing 3 touchdowns to Quentin Johnston. Do like to see Miguel Villa finally getting some playing time. 2 touchdowns when he actually gets on the field. So yeah, I know this sucks, but I do think this game, this season, was a step in the right direction. Which again, I would not be shocked at all if the Chargers ended up winning the entire thing this season. The Raiders somehow win the Super Bowl, which, funny enough, my first rebuild of Madden 27 was the Raiders, and we won the Super Bowl in the 2nd season, so at least I'm not alone. Wow. I really feel like if the Raiders can do that in just 2 seasons, we can definitely win the Super Bowl in 3, right? So this does give me hope for the future, boys. Which, speaking of the future, let's go ahead and check out to see if we had any depth trait increases. We did have our quarterback go up to X Factor. KC Concepcion up to X Factor. So some big movement there, fellas. Defensively, Zach Bender up to X Factor as our Sam linebacker. Mason Graham up to X Factor. So some massive movement to start off this offseason, with this one being the most random, obviously. But with that, fellas, so excited about the future of this franchise, especially with an 89 rated X Factor quarterback at the helm who's only going to get better and better. Guys, crazy how many players retire early, dude. Travis Etienne retires after 7 seasons. Terry McLaurin doesn't even make it to year 10. I will say it's the first time I've ever seen Matthew Stafford make it to the 2nd year of franchise mode. He always retires after the 1st year, so that's promising at least. Guys, this is just one of the other things they have got to fix in franchise mode. Just curious, the latest mock draft, which we should be picking around 20. I've never in my life seen a cornerback supposed to go number 1. Pat Sims must be the best cornerback of all time. Okay, to be fair, he looks elite at everything. A-zone, A-man coverage, which is pretty good, you know, for a corner. But we are projected to take a wide receiver with pick number 20, which is probably not going to happen. So we need to pick up Mason Graham's 5th-year option, right? Wrong. We apparently would have to pay $80 million that season to pick up his 5th-year option. So, as you guys see, this game's in a great state. So it will be declining, hopefully to sign him to a long-term extension where I only have to pay him probably half of that, if not less. So decline Mason Graham's 5th-year option, as you saw, and he immediately wants an extension, which again, I probably can get him for half the price of that 5th-year option. So Samson, I'm probably not gonna sign him long-term. Like, he's an 83 overall, so I might actually be able to trade him for something half decent. I do need to lock down Judkins long-term, and then immediately Jared Verse, who just signed a contract extension last year, apparently wants another one. So I guess we'll start with Verse. Just go with the 2-year and hopefully lock him up for a little bit longer. Maybe if we get this contract at this point locked down, he's going to be a Brown for the next 7 seasons. I think we finally got him, boys. Jared Verse locked down for another 4 seasons. Now, Judkins have absolutely got to get him locked down long-term, which he wants to start off with a 5-year extension. And again, I don't know, like, if he wants this, so I'll up the money slightly. Okay, starts with a 59% interest. I don't want to offer him more than 5 years. It's just crazy. So I'll give him a guaranteed year plus a 5% salary bump up to 75%. What do you mean? Potential questions surround our deal. He's 75%. Let's publicly reaffirm my commitment to him. Got the interest up to 85%. I'll slightly raise the bonus, which I hope is enough to see him sign his contract extension. So we have our running back locked in for the duration of this rebuild, hopefully. So now with that contract being signed, about Mason Graham here, who, as you just saw again, was asking for, it was going to be $80 million for his 5th-year option. And it looks like this total deal won't even be worth half of that. So I definitely wanted to sign him to a 5-year extension, but I was too scared to start off by making it a 5-year extension because he was just rejected immediately. I guess I'll guarantee one of the years because I don't think we have any of the years guaranteed at this point. Up to 95% and give him more of a bonus and less salary, which should be, it says, more cap relief for me. And with that, Mason Graham locked down for the next 5 seasons when if I would have picked up his 5th-year option, I had to pay him double of what I'm paying him. And then Sampson. Like, I wonder if I should just go ahead and trade him away now. He's literally the only other running back I have on the roster, so I would definitely have to sign a couple or maybe draft a couple for depth purposes. Trading is not active at this time. What are you talking about? So I guess we'll deal with this after free agency. I mean, like, should I go ahead and sign him? Like, I don't think he's gonna be asking for way too much money. Oh, let's see. I mean, that's like a $17 million contract in total, which I guess it wouldn't be terrible to have a really good backup running back. Let me just see what he says. 57% interest. What happens if I test his floor and I go down 10%? Surely it's not gonna go up, right? Okay, his patience is wearing thin. That's not good. Yeah, the patience is down to 14%. Oh god, we got up to 92% now. Anonymous leaks suggest the Browns are hesitant to commit long-term money to Dylan Sampson. What do you mean, dude? I just added more money. Oh god, we'll add a guaranteed year. And with that, Dylan Sampson has officially signed as his patience hits 0. I didn't really expect to do that, but he's not asking for way too much money, and he does get quite a few carries, so I guess we'll have the best 1-2 running back duo in football. So now finally advancing into free agency where there are some absolute studs. And if I'm not mistaken, we have about $90 million to work with. But again, as you guys know, we're not going to be able to sign Kamari Lassiter, although I would love to, because again, it is impossible to sign the highest rated free agent here. I could go after Zay Flowers, but we don't need that. We really don't need Jalen Johnson either. Don't need anybody, if I'm being honest, which sucks to have $90 million to spend. Now, the only player that I feel like we can realistically sign here that makes sense because we can afford him and it wouldn't be just a complete waste of money is Jalen Johnson. I know he's old, but I could sign Jalen Johnson for a year or two, have him, Denzel Ward, and our young rookie, or I guess now going into year 2. That'd be an insane trio at the cornerback position. I am going to give him a 2-year contract offer because I don't really just want him for 1. Hopefully he'll take this. Okay, 57% interest. It's like I don't even know what to do here. I guess we front load the contract up to 76% interest. We'll guarantee one of the years, but cut his salary by 5%. Up to 90, but with a 17% patience meter. Oh god. I guess we front load the deal again. I think I've already done that once. Is that gonna be enough? Yes. At the death, the offer has been submitted, but again, that doesn't mean he's gonna sign with us. It says he's out of patience. It said we offered him. What do you mean? Oh, this game does not make sense. I'm gonna advance, see if we sign him. Okay, he signed with us, even though it said he was out of patience. All right, that worked. So Jalen Johnson is our new cornerback number 2 now. Guys that we could still potentially sign, like we got Jalen Waddle, Javon Holland. But again, it's like all these guys, I really feel like would just be a waste of money. So I'll be happy with my 1 free agent signing. We're gonna simulate to the end here. And I just wanna see if there's any teams that just signs like the same position over and over and over again. So Lions signed the top 2 quarterback options, JJ McCarthy and Spencer Rattler. Dolphins signed 3, Gardner Minshew, Davis Mills, and Bailey Zappi. Anthony Richardson back to the Colts, funny enough. Titans signed the top 2 running backs, and the Saints signed the next 6. Oh my god, 7 running backs. What are we doing? Brother, get me out of here before I have a stroke. Now, what are the odds we can actually follow up last year's draft class with another banger this year? Which unfortunately, we don't get to pick until selection number 20, which surely there's got to be somebody good at this point. I do want to see what offers I'm getting to trade down, just out of pure curiosity. The Texans offer me 2 future firsts, a 3rd and a 6th. Seahawks offer me an extra 2nd, a 4 and a 7 to move back 3 spots, which isn't actually a terrible offer. Which I do think I'm going to stick and pick here, although it might feel a little hypocritical, because I am actually going to go for a wide receiver. It's not our biggest need or anything, but I was looking at Melvin Richards before the draft, and he was the guy that the mock draft had us projected to take, and he looks pretty good. Not the fastest, doesn't really stand out as like a crazy athlete or anything, although the 4.40 is great and all. A, catching traffic, B, catching, B, medium route running, B, deep route running, so a really good route runner would be an addition to an already insane wide receiver room. But Melvin, please don't let me down here, pal. 6 in true value. Got him at 20. I thought maybe he was middle of the round talent, but not almost top 5 talent, so hidden development as well. So Melvin Richards, which wide receiver number 20. Oh god, that makes me rethink everything here. Oh, wide receiver wearing number 20 is diabolical, but regardless, looks like a good pick. Might have to change that number, but hopefully will be the cherry on top to what is the best wide receiver room in all of football at this point. Oh, if I'm not mistaken, I do think I have 2 second-round picks this year, don't I? I do. Oh, I think I found myself a good edge rusher here. Projected to go round 3 to round 4, but looks good, dude. B awareness, A+ block shedding, A play rec, A tackle. Finesse move kind of sucks. He's not the fastest, but he's the strongest. 39 reps, the bench press. Gonna be a really good run defender for us. Probably not an incredible pass rusher, but Amari Bridges. That's an incredible name, to be honest. He's gonna come in 20 in true value. Hidden dev, as you see, 79 speeds, not the greatest, but 92 strength will be a really good run defender for us. So can we keep it rolling with our second pick in the second round? I might, depending on what we have offered here, I might trade down. What is this, dude? They're offering me 2 future 3s, 3 future 5s, and a 2034th round pick. That's a lie. I gotta take that in for a second. Like, how can one offer be so crazy and then the Titans offer me a trade down for 3 7th round picks? I mean, this offer from the Falcons is literally just the next year's second. I think I might have to do that. Well, actually, I don't know. I mean, 2 3s is kind of nuts, but the Seahawks are offering me a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 7. I might actually go with that, boys. I might go with the Seahawks offer here. Unless you think the Dolphins might be better because they're a worse team. Screw it. Let's let it rip. Let's trade down for once. Pick up some valuable picks down the line. It's not like I really need anything here anyway. And have another big pickup coming here in the 3rd round. There's a really good looking run blocking left tackle available here. He's a day 3 projected pick, but you know that doesn't mean anything. A awareness is always the dead giveaway when I'm scrolling. Has A lead block, A run block finesse, C run block power. So his power is not the greatest, but I think he's gonna be a good pick. Manuel Aragon is going to be the selection, and he's going to come in at 13th in true value. I didn't expect that. This is crazy. Normal dev, though, so it kind of is, it makes it a little bit of a stinker. Second straight draft, we got ourselves a really high-rated, good value pick at the tackle position, but they come in at normal dev. But again, I mean, this is probably better than anybody else I could have taken at this point, which I will say for the rest of this draft, I'm probably just going to draft for need, which I do now need depth at defensive tackle, and there's surely got to be a good defensive tackle left. There always is. Philip Griffin, I'm assuming Peter Griffin's brother. I spotted him from a mile away. Had A awareness, 36 reps of the bench press, B block shed, B finesse move, B play rec, so he could be a potential good option, although I could wait a little bit longer for him. This guy looks good as well. Ken Palumbo, 38 reps of the bench press, B's and A. I might do it. Ken's gonna be the pick. He's gonna come in 34 in true value. A fringe first round talent, normal devs, that does kind of hurt a little bit, but still good depth in the 4th round. Ooh, this safety looks really good. One of the strongest, one of the fastest. B man and C zone was actually really good for a safety. I feel like he was bumped way down the draft board because he has F injury. So Landon Robinson, really good free safeties do fall quite a bit in this draft sometimes. So in round 5, Landon can come in. This is too easy, dude. I just been doing this too long. I've been doing this way too long. 26 in true value. Got about 148. Sucks. Like, he's such a high rated player, but won't develop into anything way too special. But that's still a great value pick here, all the way in round 5. Now I could use a good running back here because we only have Dylan Sampson and Quinshawn Junkins in the entire roster, and unfortunately I don't know if there's gonna be anybody that looks way too good. Although, hold on a second, right off the rip, Ryan Poole here out of Illinois State. Hold on a second. The strongest, so we could get ourselves a nice little goal line power back here. He has A stiff arm, B trucking, like some of the most important stats aren't really scouted. He might not be that good, but he could be a difference maker in that backfield, something different than what we currently have. We're gonna take him. I mean, who else we can take at this point? Look like the best running back. He's gonna, okay, that's the worst pick I've ever made in my entire life. He might get cut before the preseason even starts. So for all the incredible picks that I've made today in this rebuild, that makes up for it. Oh, and that was my last pick too. I can't believe I went out with that big of a stinker. Now time for the old draft recap. Melvin Richards comes in as a 78 overall, and that's the player they had mocked to me at 20. Bridges is good. Manuel Aragon's good as well. It just sucks that, like, my day 3 guys that are really high rated for that part of the draft, they all have normal dev. And a 57 overall running back literally might be the lowest rated player I've ever taken in a draft ever. So that kind of evens things out. But again, another banger of a draft class, boys. Might not be as star-studded as last year, which, to be fair, he had 2 1s and 2 2s last year. But again, overall, I have to say an A+ draft. Which, that cornerback, if you're curious, Pat Sims, 81 overall, which is a little old for a number 1 overall cornerback draft pick. That's still an absolute stud. There was an 80 overall quarterback that fell to pick 12. The Houston Texans got the future of their franchise, I guess, to replace C.J. Stroud. That kind of makes me wish I waited till this year. Chase Stevens is a stud. But dude, we got really lucky. There was like a 74 overall wide receiver that got taken. And wait, a 74, 73, and 73 that went 2, 3, and 4. What a horrible, horrible first 6 picks of the draft. What a horrible top 10. There was a 74 and 73 rated running back that went 9 and 10 in the draft. That's insane. And a 72 edge rusher when I got a 75 in the 2nd round. Dude, the drafts are just insane this year. Again, though, brother, not not complaining because there's another 10 out of 10 draft from yours truly. Now, before we even get into season number 3, got some big-time contract extensions upcoming, including Carson Schlesinger, which, to be fair, doesn't look too bad off the rip, which this is what the game's saying. So I probably need to up the offer a little bit so he just doesn't decline immediately. Okay, starts with 62% interest. So I think one more answer up to 100%. Got Carson Schlesinger locked down for an extra 3 seasons. Now to lock down Harold Fannin. I guess like the best thing to be safe is just to offer what the game sets for you, because if you up the years and start messing with it yourself, you really don't know how to gauge what they're going to want and what they're not going to want unless you just overpay by $40 million. So just offer this and always start at like 60%. Like from here, I wish I could just up the years now, but you can't. Do the same thing we did last time with Schlesinger. We'll front load the contract immediately. I really wish we get another year here. All we can do is guarantee a year and cut the salary, I guess. It's up to 100%. I wish we could have got one more answer and up the length, but at least Harold Fannin is locked down for an extra 3 seasons. But at the start of season number 3, team comes in as a 92 overall, 92 offense, 93 defense with literally like no holes at all. Like maybe right guard because Reinhardt's only an 80, but he's going into year 2. I mean, defensively, we just literally got studs everywhere. And our secondary's got to be one of the best in football. I mean, we got McNeil Warren at an 86, Grant Delpit at an 85, and then Denzel Ward, who unfortunately is going down in overall, lost his superstar, but we got him, Jalen Johnson. And again, don't forget, fellas, we still got training camp to go. And of course, went and got gold, I think every single drill outside of maybe the running back one, which means we're about to get ourselves a ton of upgrades. Multiple players have 2, but our quarterback now up to a 91 rated. Denzel Boston up to a 94. Judkins up to a 93. I am surprised though with all those upgrades we didn't get any higher than a 92, but I think we are finally ready for the season, boys. And with our team already being over 90 overall, dude, you would like to think we can finally for the first time today win double digits and hopefully compete for a Super Bowl this 3rd season. Totally forgot that we needed to sign a running back since the running back we drafted was such a stinker. So we went and got Kenneth Gainwell, 79 overall running back to be our 3rd string. Don't feel like that's bad business. So we start off the season week 1 Monday night prime time against the Bengals, so at least the NFL is taking us seriously at this point, putting us in prime time week 1. But just like we've done the first 2 years of this rebuild, we're gonna go ahead and start things off this season by simulating to the trade deadline, which again, I don't know if I'm actually gonna do any business. I don't even know what positions I can upgrade. We'll just have to wait. Real quick, I just want to say that I accidentally stopped the simulation before the trade deadline and I was just looking around and we just had a pretty big trade happen. Ted McMillan to the Dolphins for Chris Johnson, a 1st round pick from 3 years down the line, and a 7th. God, dude, the game re-signed 3 players I didn't really care about. I mean, it's not really going to screw us cap-wise because the most expensive is Alex Wright for this next season for $12 million, which I guess it is a $12 million cap hit for a backup edge. But anyways, again, I just really do hope that in the next Madden update, they fix it to where when you have the contract negotiations on manual, it doesn't auto re-sign them if you accidentally skip them. Now, we'll say you guys might be a little shocked at what our record is at this point. Watch us have lost after I said that. Nope, we are 7-1. We are 7-1 at the trade deadline this season, coming in with the current 1 seed, which unfortunately the Texans are 6-1 right behind us. But for the first time today in this rebuild, we might be well on our way to earning a 1st round bond. Now, there's been some things going on here, like Tyson Campbell apparently requested a trade, and we have a ton of offers coming in for him, which I might actually end up accepting one of these because he's on an expiring contract. He's 28 going on 29, so he's probably going to go down in overall every year now. But like the question again is I really don't know what to even get in return. I mean, they have a ton of offers. I mean, I guess I could take a tackle from the Texans, but at the same time, like the Texans are competing with us right now for the 1 seed. So it's like if this is a big position of need for them, I don't want to help them upgrade there. But again, it's like we have Denzel Ward, Jalen Johnson, DeAndre Holmes, Tyson Campbell, Khalil Ringo. So it really wouldn't hurt us that bad to get rid of them. It's just like, again, what do we even bring in return? Nick Cross, 87 overall strong safety. Oh, I can't afford it. That's rough. But this is actually pretty gosh dang close here. Nick Cross and Sam Cosmi for Tyson Campbell and Grant Delpit, which I could go ahead and potentially get rid of Elgton Jenkins because, I mean, he's probably going to retire here soon. I mean, it would take a pretty big cap penalty, but I feel like this would be worth it. So let's submit it through. It got a little bit closer, which we do actually have 2 second-round picks that we can work with. We have 2 2033s. So let me submit that through. Got a little bit closer. But let me just go ahead and submit one of these 2nd round picks. Is close, dude. Is close. This could actually end up being a massive deal. Now go with that 2030 extra 3rd. Trade has been accepted. It actually doesn't look that great on the surface, you know, getting rid of Tyson Campbell, Delpit, Jenkins, and a 2nd and a 3rd. We bring in 2 younger, much better options at 2 positions that we could stand to upgrade. Not to mention Tyson Campbell wanted out of here anyway. Then of course immediately Nick Cross wants to negotiate. So we'll just sit here and press a bunch of buttons until that interest goes up to 100%. And with this, that is, yeah, it went down. It went down. I was really excited to, say contract was accepted. If I guarantee one more year, it should be good, right? There it is. Nick Cross officially locked down as a Cleveland Brown for the next 4 seasons. I think actually it's probably like 6 seasons combined. I don't know. Wait, what happens if I accept this? Tyson Campbell's not on our team anymore. Like, what happens if I accept this? Let me just try. Okay. Since we've decided to go in a different direction and can no longer complete this trade, if that would have worked, this game would have been more broken than I ever could have imagined. So some unexpected moves that see us now all the way up to a 95 overall team across the board, dude. Sam Cosme is going to take over at right guard, which funny enough, we're going to have Johnson step in as a starting left guard, which he's the same overall now as Reinhardt. Our young quarterback's now up to a 92 overall, Judkins up to a 94, Denzel Boston up to a 96, Casey Concepcion up to a 95. A little disappointed that our rookie receiver, I think, has only gone up 1 overall so far, but again, he's probably not getting much playing time. It's just actually insane how stacked this entire roster is. The only thing I'm slightly worried about on this team is the cornerback position, because behind Denzel Ward and Jalen Johnson, all we have is Holmes, and that's it. And they're both like getting on up there in age, so they're gonna go down in overall every year probably from now on, and also they could retire any given year. So if we do make it to another offseason, we do need to focus kind of heavily on cornerback, but hopefully we can just go ahead and win the Super Bowl this season, considering we're a 95 overall team. Currently have the NFL's #1 offense and defense. I am begging be top 10. I am begging 24th. I don't know how. Legitimately no clue. Our rookie quarterback on pace for 5,000 yards and about 45 touchdowns, only 6 picks. On the ground, Judkins having a modest season. Denzel Boston and Casey Concepcion both have about 1,000 yards at the midway point. So we could legitimately have 2,000-yard receivers in the same season. Yeah, our young rookie Melvin Richards not doing much. Just about 160 yards and 18 grabs. And again, it's like we just can't get to the quarterback. We randomly had 58 sacks that year, and ever since our edge rushers have gotten better, they just can't get to the quarterback consistently. Them actually sacking the opposing quarterbacks could be the difference in us winning the Super Bowl this year or not. I think we're legitimately 0-10 the month after the trade deadline in the first 2 seasons of this rebuild. So as long as that doesn't happen this season, at bare minimum, we should be able to win at least 10 games for the first time in this rebuild. Oh no? Oh yeah. Oh, that was close. So we do, for the first time today, earn the 1 seed. So in the second half of the year, we did lose that trade deadline week to the Cowboys. We lost to the Steelers, lost to the Eagles. But I just don't see how you could be upset at all earning the 1 seed and winning 13 games. So will year 3 finally be the year that the pain and suffering can end for the Cleveland Brown faithful? Will this be the year they finally can win their first Super Bowl in franchise history? I mean, you definitely would think they'd be the favorites. Of course, we finished the season with the NFL's #1 offense. Now, defensively, I am begging you, we finished 12th. Again, not bad at all, for a year 2 quarterback. Eric Cano, 4,800 yards, 36 touchdowns, 5 interceptions on the ground. He only had 221 yards, all while Judkins, actually, like yard per carry wise, it might be his worst season yet. 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns. Still a good season, though. Dylan Sampson actually had a better yard per carry average, so I'm kind of glad we actually re-signed him. Okay, so we didn't have 2 2,000-yard receivers in the same season, but that's still insane production from Casey Concepcion and Denzel Boston. 1,600 yards, 1,500 yards, 14 touchdowns, 13 touchdowns. Best season we've seen from Harold Fannin yet, and the rookie did, he did all right. About 300 yards on 38 catches, all while Miguel Villa, from the 4th spot, caught 4 touchdowns on 11 catches. Now, defensively, again, dude, like Latu, great year, 14 sacks, but still disappointed in Jared Verse, man, given that big contract extension. And this is the first time today I don't think he got to double-digit sacks, so I don't know what's happening. I don't know where we're going wrong, but he unfortunately just can't consistently get in the backfield. At least our top 2 corners did have 5 interceptions, Jalen Johnson, Denzel Ward, and I really get worried at like how much this defense is going to go backwards once these guys get too old and they retire. Now, MVP this season goes to Josh Allen. Our young buck came in 3rd, and that other quarterback that we were like interested in drafting if we didn't trade up, he came in 4th, so he's turned out pretty well. How in the world, as the Cleveland Browns, I earned the 1 seed, and I didn't get Coach of the Year? We're in the same conference as the Jets. We earned the 1 seed as the Browns, but we can't win Coach of the Year. Insane. Jamar Chase wins Offensive Player of the Year. Max Crosby wins Defensive Player of the Year. Schlesinger came in 5th. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to that quarterback that the Texans drafted, I think, with the 10th pick, 80 overall. Who knows what he's at now? now. Richards, interesting, even though he didn't have a good season, came in 4th somehow. And Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Sergio Driver. Now, let us see, boys. Going into the playoffs, we're up to a 96 overall team. And the scary thing is, if we don't win the Super Bowl this year, pretty much everybody's coming back. And we're probably going to improve the team even more in the offseason. But let's hope this season we can end it once and for all with our young buck quarterback all the way up to a 94. Judkins up to a 95. Denzel Boston at a 97, as is Casey Concepcion. You have the rookie. He's up to an 82. Defensively, who's our lowest rated starter? It might actually be Nick Cross at an 87. McNeil Warren up to an 89. Swessinger up to a 96. Bender, okay, it's Bender. I lied. Bender's at 82. This team is just so insane, dude. I don't even know like how we improve in the offseason if we don't win the Super Bowl. Let's just hope we get it done this year, right now, as we advance into the divisional round, and really, really hope we get ourselves an easy matchup here. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Literally the worst possible matchup. Again, the Chargers are the best team in Madden simulation. I do not care that it says they went 9-8. They win the Super Bowl almost every single year, dude. Oh, I don't like this, man. Who allowed this to happen? Oh, they beat the 2-seed Bills. You see what I'm saying? They already beat the Bills in Buffalo, who won 13 games. Who's to say they can't beat the 1-seed Browns this season? Oh, I'm scared. I'm scared. Literally, I would have taken anybody else. Didn't play him in the regular season. I don't like it, boys. I don't like it at all. But come on, man. We are a 96 overall team. We need one win to advance in the AFC Championship game. I'll tell you, though, right now, if we win this, we are winning this Super Bowl. They are the hardest team to get past, and I am begging the Madden gods out there to let me grab this dub and win our first playoff game of the rebuild. I think we won 38-25. We've advanced in the AFC Conference Championship game against the New England Patriots, who, if I'm not mistaken, we literally just beat 4 weeks ago. We beat them in New England, which honestly probably should have beat them by more than 11. Huge win though, boys. Absolutely freaking massive. What a performance from our youngster Eric Cano. 333 yards, 3 touchdowns. Only got sacked 2 times. Judkins, much better playoff performance than a year ago. Denzel Boston with 3 receiving touchdowns. Absolutely insane. But come on, fellas. I absolutely beg. Hang on to the football. Play clean football. And we will be taking the Cleveland Browns to their first ever Super Bowl. We get this game at home. We have a 10 overall advantage. This should be a win, right? This has got to be a win. Oh, I don't like this. I don't see anything. I still have no idea. It doesn't give me any information here. I'm scared. It just says AFC champ up there. I don't know if that means we won. I don't know if that means we lost. I feel like it would tell me if we have a game coming up. Hold on. I think I got it spoiled. We advanced to the Super Bowl week versus the Philadelphia Eagles. We have done it in year 3. We have taken the Cleveland Browns super team to the Super Bowl. But on the flip side, the other issue is the Eagles are the other team that Madden loves in simulation, hence why they won 13 games again this season. Oh, I don't like that at all. Don't like it. We already played them and lost by 7. We lost this game at home, boys. Couldn't get anything going offensively. Oh, I don't like it, man. I don't like it at all. Oh, they took down the Vikings, took down the 1-seed Cowboys, who also beat us this year, and took down the Buccaneers, and they hope now to take down another 1 seed. As we did have some movement, boys, as this is Super Bowl week, they have Judkins up to a superstar, 96 overall. Our youngster QB, 95 rated. Casey Concepcion now up to a 98 overall wide receiver. And then defensively, we had Jared Verse lost his superstar. Sats, you don't like to see that. Jalen Johnson, though, on the flip side, became an X factor. Now, normally at this point in the rebuild, say, I hope to God we win this, because if we lose, I don't know if we'll ever make it back. I don't believe that this rebuild, because if we lose this game, dude, everybody is coming back next season. We genuinely at that point might build a 99 overall team, dude. I mean, I definitely think our roster is better. They haven't signed or drafted anybody that's turned out good. Makai Lemon, I mean, obviously 91 rated, but since the start of this franchise, I don't think they've really added anybody new. They, honest to God, might be worse than what they were at the start of this rebuild. They lost Lane Johnson and replaced them with Cordell Garrison, who's not nearly as good as Lane Johnson. They have Ronnie Hickman, interesting enough, so he's going to want some revenge on us. Got this guy, Enrique Santos, who's not really a bad middle linebacker at all. This Mason Monroe's a pretty good D tackle, but I think our roster is exorbitantly better than this. Could be a fun cornerback, wide receiver matchup. Oh God, here goes nothing, boys. I mean, literally, who thought we'd be able to bring the Browns to the Super Bowl in just 3 seasons, but does it really matter if we lose? I mean, we have built arguably the best NFL roster of all time in just 3 seasons. How, I really don't know, but you'd like to think we're massive favorites favorites here despite Madden loving the Eagles in simulation. Hopefully ball doesn't lie and the better team wins. Honestly, dude, I wouldn't be satisfied with anything less than a 2-touchdown victory here. So as you guys know, everything will be decided by the click of a button. Fast start, I absolutely beg. Not for the Eagles, okay, it's 7-0 just like that. We tack on a field goal, it is 14-3, 14-6. We're settling for field goals. It's an 11-point game going into halftime. Oh, it's 24-6, man. It is 31-6. What are we doing? There's just no way this is happening right now. 38-20, 38-27, 41-27. We have lost the Super Bowl. The first time in Madden 27 that we have lost the Super Bowl. We legitimately had a 10 overall advantage and just gave up 41 points to Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. I refuse to believe it. I don't want to see this. Get me out of here. Jalen Hurts threw 4 touchdowns. I'm livid. I'm so mad. We couldn't really run the ball that well. Dallas Goedert, like 48 years old at this point, 87 yards, 10 catches. I don't want to talk about it. For the first time in Madden 27, it's going to take me at least 4 seasons to win a Super Bowl. Oh, God, dude, and this is where things are going to start to get messy. A 5th-year option for Spencer Fano will cost me $65 million. I will gladly decline. Casey Concepcion will cost $70 million. So if we did what this game wanted and picked up the 5th-year option like they do in real life, you know, that would be $130 million we'd be allocating towards those 2 players when it should really only be like maybe 60 for the 5th-year option. So gladly decline. Get me to free agency here, and I promise you I'm going to try and spend every last dollar. Oh, God. Denzel Ward is considering retirement. Retirement has already happened. He's only 32 and he's still at the top of his game. It says Denzel Ward needs more than a feeling crucial. Wait. Needs more than feeling crucial and retires? What? Did he actually just retire? I pressed one button. He had a 98% interest. Did he really? There's no way he just retired. He just retired. He just retired. That's insane. Oh, I'm so mad actually about that. Oh, it's the worst possible thing to happen right now. Why did he retire? Why? Okay, now we definitely can't lose Jalen Johnson. Oh, God, dude. Just please, just sign. Just sign this extension. Okay, thank God. Jalen Johnson at least will be here. I have to figure out something to do with that cornerback position. Even have to trade away my 1st-round pick this year. Markel Bell gonna have to negotiate his contract. 86 overall right tackle. I mean, I really do need to lock him down long term. Maybe get him to sign a 5-year contract extension here. Up to 100%. Let's go. Which is gonna take us into actual free agency where we really need to hope that there's a star cornerback out there for us to sign. Okay, so there's a lot to decipher here. CeeDee Lamb is a free agent. Devonta Smith, Cam Scattaboo, Travion Henderson, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Hurts, who just won the freaking Super Bowl. Same thing with Landon Dickerson and Devonta Smith. Dude, why couldn't I have played the Eagles next year? They're losing literally everybody. Oh, God, dude. I need a cornerback, and the best option out there is Noel Williams, but he has a transition tag on him. I really wonder, J.C. Horn is a superstar, but he's down to 85 rated because he's 29 years old. Can I make a trade at this point? Can I just trade away my 1st-round pick and not have to sign anybody? Unfortunately, it's like a late first, but I would be willing to trade away every draft pick. I'm trying to win next year, because if I don't win next year, I might end up getting screwed because I'm not going to be able to re-sign everybody. It's on rookie contracts. I could trade for Brian Burns. Ideally, I bring in like a 93+ rated cornerback, although I don't know how many of those exist at this point. Sauce Gardner for a $32 million cap hit. Ooh, I could hurt the Eagles a little bit more. Maybe bringing in Cooper DeJean, that'd be hilarious. Now, the question is there a better fit out there? Odds I can bring in 99 overall Christian Gonzalez. I'd be willing to give up the farm, as it's a little bit over halfway. Maybe they want Tyquan Thornton, potentially. That didn't bump up at all. See, I can't even get Sauce Gardner because they can't afford it because of the cap penalty. So that's going to make things extremely tricky here. Maybe Cooper DeJean is my best bet. So let's see if we can bring him in. That's close. So let's hopefully hurt the reigning Super Bowl champions even more than what they already are this offseason. And just like that, Cooper DeJean is our new cornerback #1. It did take a lot, dude, but we are trying to win next season, which means I really don't have to sign any of these guys, and I don't want to because I need to save the cap space as much as physically possible. So I think we're just going to go ahead and advance to the end of free agency frenzy. Glad, that the Cowboys signed both Travion Henderson and Javonte Williams, while the Cowboys also signed Devonta Smith and Xavier Worthy. So more than likely, they're going to be the team to beat next year. I think I just accidentally simulated the draft. That sucks. Oh my God. I mean, we didn't have a 1st or 2nd round pick. I can't stop it. It won't let me stop it. Oh no, dudes. I mean, I didn't have a 1st or 2nd round pick or anything, but like, I've been doing really good, you know, on day 3. So we could have got some good, young, cheap talent. We got just nothing but crap. Oh, that might be the biggest stinker of the entire video. And it was actually a really good draft, too. There was an 84 rated out there, which nobody that great that made it to round 3. I mean, there's some good guards. You know what? I'm fine. I'm fine with it. There is a shot that we could end this season as a 99 overall team. Oh, God, I think we got some contract extensions we need to talk through. I'm about to have to start spending so much money, man. But I do think our franchise left tackle is about to be locked down for an extra 6 seasons. I mean, I feel like I got him kind of for cheap. 6 years, a $95 million bonus, $63 million total salary. Now I need to lock down our long-term center. At least Zachary made it easy on me. 3 years, $19 million bonus, about $14 million per season. Now I'm a little worried that Denzel Boston, I don't think, has asked me for a contract extension. Yeah, because we're going into the last year of his deal and he's going to ask for $1 billion. I wish he was one of the guys that would have got the contract extension a little bit early. Wait, also, didn't I decline Casey Concepcion's 5th-year option? So isn't he also going into the last year of his contract? I don't like that. Yeah, last year of his contract too. So we are going to have to somehow, some way, lock down Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, and not to mention, I think McNeil Warren as well, in the same exact season. So, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford that, especially when you consider my young quarterback's going to need an extension here sometime soon, and you best believe I'm not going to be able to afford his 5th-year option. So it might be this year or never, boys. But with this potentially being our final season to win the Super Bowl before things go south with this roster, that's why I'm going to go through the hour-long process yet again of doing another training camp. So again, we went out and got gold on almost every single drill outside of, I think, the running back drill again. It's like the hardest. It's a lame drill. But unfortunately, again, for the 4th straight season, no more dev trait increases as they're just extremely, extremely rare. And only Denzel Boston and our quarterback got the 2 skill points, which let's see what we can get his overall up to. Unfortunately, I think upgrading the strong arm only brought him up 2, which is now up to a 96, so you can't really complain. Now, let's see if we can get Denzel Boston to our first 99 overall player of the entire rebuild, which makes it even harder that I have to re-sign him this year. Not enough skill points to purchase the bucket. What are you talking about, brother? What do you mean? He's a 97 overall. He's a 97 overall deep threat. What do you mean there's not enough points to purchase the bucket? Dude, this stupid thing has been in Madden for over 10 years. What does it mean? 97 overall deep threat. I can't even get it to 99. So 2 skill points isn't enough to purchase the bucket. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh my God, dude. Anyways, I don't know. I guess we go physical, which it's not going to bump his overall to 99. I have to go physical twice. It got up from a 97 to 98. All because we didn't have enough skill points to purchase the deep threat bucket, I guess. Whatever the frick that means. Does it mean, though, that he won't become a 99 throughout the season? And Judkins, I don't even think that skill point bumped him up. God, that's such a bad upgrade. Oh, up to a 97. And the rest of these will just let the game do automatically, which I'm curious. It brings our team's overall all the way up to a 97, brother. We should be going 17-0 this season. I'm more worried about re-signing my players than I am actually getting through the season, because I shouldn't have any worry in our team at least earning the 1 seed, right? I mean, we're a freaking 97 overall squad. Just because I can, I'm going to go ahead and sign some of the highest rated free agents just to try to make our team at least a little bit better. I literally just lie to every single one of them because what does it matter? He's only going to be here for a year. So we got Blake Corum locked up to be our 3rd string running back. 81 rated Marcus Jones to be our, I think, 5th string corner. And then Josh Metellus, who's a star strong safety. Going to give him an interception incentive, which makes him immediately sign. So we got ourselves an 81 rated strong safety as a backup. Okay, I did want to point out that we just beat the Ravens 28-0. So that's a pretty good start to the season. And I also wanted to point that out because we have all these contracts we need to negotiate, boys. I mean, we got Denzel Boston, Casey Concepcion, McNeil Warren. So like 3 players that don't even have faces in the game that are all like 91 overall and above. Oh, God, dude. So we'll go with Denzel Boston first. Like, at least we got this for he's a 99 overall. He's asking for a $102 million bonus over 6 years. Starts at a 50% interest. Raises bonus by $1 million up to $143 million signing bonus, dude. What if we reduced his salary, which would help a lot, and guarantee a year instead up to 93%? So we're getting there. How about we guarantee 1 more year of the contract, which means Denzel Boston is locked up for the next 8 seasons. That, I don't know. I guess that means he's going to be a Brown until he retires, but I'm just glad at least one of our receivers is locked down long term. Now, the question is, can we do the same with Casey Concepcion here? I think he's actually asking for a little bit less in terms of the bonus. Oh, God. Now he's looking for a bump in contract value. Dude, I had a $1 million championship incentive. I don't know. And like what we need to do is up the total contract contract value since it's high. But unfortunately, every offer it gives me right now is reducing money somehow. So like, none of these options help me. I hate it. And it's probably gonna give me the same options back to back. Interest, 26% patience. You see what I'm saying? It's these same exact offers, these same exact offers. Oh, he just lost more patience. Oh my god, dude. We're not gonna get him locked down. We're not gonna be able to get him locked down because this game is free up 96%. And again, it gives me the same three options that don't help me out at freaking all, dude. Oh, this stupid mini game. Can't do anything right, can they? At least we got Emmanuel McNeil-Warren locked down on a 7-year, relatively cheap contract for how high of an overall he is. All right, thank God we won week 2, so we're now 2-0 on the season, and at least the contract extension pops up again for KC Concepcion. So let's reduce the salary and guarantee a year, which this time is enough to finally lock down our other #1 receiver. So worst comes to worst, we don't win the Super Bowl this year. We don't have to worry about our best players leaving anytime soon. But unfortunately, I don't know what that's going to do for like our quarterback, because he's going to need extension here soon. I mean, he's a 96 rated, probably be a 97, 98 by the end of the year. So by the time he needs a contract extension, dude, he's going to legitimately ask for $1 billion. But in the meantime, at least I no longer have to stress, especially considering we're now 2-0 on the year. My best players are locked down for the next 7 seasons each. So at this point, we can go ahead and simulate the trade deadline, where hopefully we're undefeated. Fellas, we are currently 7-0 at the trade deadline, so that's nice. Pushing for a 17-0 season, which would be fun. And there has been a couple close games in there. Like, we only beat the Texans by 4, beat the Jags last week by 3. We'll end up probably dropping a game or 2, maybe even 3. But at this point, I mean, I think we should be favorites for the 1 seed. And hold on a second, brother. We've officially gotten the team up to a 98 overall. We genuinely, by the end of this year, could be a 99 overall team. Go ahead and simulate the playoffs, where hopefully, for the first time in Madden 27, I actually legitimately rebuild a 17-0 squad. Again, that might just be wishful thinking. Can we at least earn the 1 seed for a second straight year? So fellas, we have done it. We have built a 99 overall team, but unfortunately I see 2 weeks ago that we lost to the Lions, so we didn't go undefeated, but we do have the first round bye as we went 14-3. But unfortunately, you see those Los Angeles Chargers went 12-5 again, so we're probably gonna have to end up playing them in the playoffs. But again, we just for whatever reason can't have a strong second half of the season, which I genuinely think we have lost every single trade deadline week this entire rebuild. All 4 years we have lost week 9, then we lost to my Titans, and then lost to the Lions by 3. So no 17-0 this season, but at the end of the day, all that matters is we did earn the 1 seed, and hopefully this can be the year where we finally win the Super Bowl. I actually did not finish with the #1 offense this year. Defensively, finished top 10 for the first time ever. Yep, 5,100 yards passing, 42 touchdowns, 6 picks, 68% of his passes completed. So at this point, when it comes to his contract extension, he might actually ask for equity in the Cleveland Browns franchise. So hopefully, I don't have to get to that point, because hopefully we win the Super Bowl this year. Now, Judkins on the ground, another good year, 1,400 yards, 14 touchdowns. Doesn't seem like his numbers are really going up with his overall. I feel like he's had the same exact numbers on the ground every single year, but still a good season nonetheless. Denzel Boston, 1,700 yards, 16 touchdowns. KC Concepcion with 1,400, 13 touchdowns. Best season we've seen from Harold Fannin, and best season we've seen from Melvin Richards so far. Now, did our big boys get in the backfield? I mean, kind of. Both of them had 10 sacks. Well, Latu had 10.5. Ooh, 7 interceptions from Carson Swessinger with 4 sacks, 121 total tackles. Wonder if maybe he won Defensive Player of the Year. Maybe our quarterback won MVP, which, no, goes to Joe Burrow, of course. He comes in second. Yes, for the first time today, we do win Coach of the Year, so please do what I ask. Jamar Chase, again, wins Offensive Player of the Year somehow over Denzel Boston, who had 1,700 yards and 130 catches this year. Defensive Player of the Year was Isaiah Griffith. Schlesinger was in second. I just have to see, out of, like, pure curiosity, what did the Bengals do? I mean, Burrow, all he did do was throw for 200 more yards than me. I mean, he threw for less touchdowns and a few less interceptions. Okay, that's why. 2,000 yards receiving the last 2 seasons. Nice. Well, come on, boys. Surely this has got to be our year. I mean, we have a 98 rated quarterback, a 99 overall #1 receiver, 98 rated Denzel Boston as the 2, who will probably end up a 99 by the end of the playoffs. Quinshaw Judkins, who's also a 98, about to be a 99 probably by the end of the playoffs. I mean, I really don't think I have ever built a 99 overall team in a rebuild ever, and I don't know why that's happening. I don't really feel like I did way too much. I drafted well the first couple seasons. I've just re-signed my players. I don't know if the progression system in this game is too overpowered, but again, I'm not asking questions at all. This is fun to me, at least, outside of the brokenness of this game, which hopefully the brokenness in this game doesn't end up meaning that a 99 overall team does not win the Super Bowl this season. Give me a good matchup. We end up having to play the Baltimore Ravens, who I do believe we've beaten twice this season. Oh yeah, we blanked them week 1, 28-0, although it was a little closer. Week 7 only beat them by a touchdown. But we're going to do something a little bit different here. Instead of going game by game, I have so much faith in our 99 overall team. I'm just going to go ahead and simulate all the way to the Super Bowl here. And I'm going to crash out. If we sim to the Super Bowl here and we are not in the Super Bowl, your boy is going to crash out. And I might just end the rebuild there, go to sleep. It's freaking 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, thank God. I was about to be so upset. The 9-8 49ers. All we have to do to win the first Super Bowl in franchise history is beat the 9-8 San Francisco 49ers. Oh, we didn't have to play the Chargers, which these two games were a little bit too close for my liking. 24-20, 28-23, but a win is a win. There's just no way. I refuse to believe we failed this challenge because of a 9-8 San Francisco 49ers team. We'll get an upgrade. Here we are. Denzel Boston up to that 99 overall. Again, it's not letting me upgrade deep threat. Will let me upgrade slot? It won't. About physical. It won't. Playmaker. It's not letting me upgrade at all. Is Denzel Boston bugged? Is that legitimately why he can't go up to a 99 overall? He doesn't have enough skill points to upgrade any of these buckets. Dude, they've got to fix this. I mean, I think the issue is he has multiple attributes that are up to 99, but obviously, like, you can't go past 99. So it's like blocking him from upgrading any of these archetypes, but that's stupid. That is stupid. He's 25 years old and you're telling me he can't upgrade ever again in his career? What a dumb game, man. So suppose I'm just gonna have to take my frustration out on the 49ers in the Super Bowl, which I wanted to look at the roster, and they did sign Cam Scatterbo out of free agency, who's a 96 overall at this point. They also got Chris Olave, so they've made some pretty big signings throughout the duration of this rebuild. But after Chris Olave, the talent does kind of fall off rather quick. I mean, again, dude, we should be beating these guys by 1,000. I'm telling you fellas right now, if I lose the Super Bowl for a second consecutive season with one of the greatest, if not the greatest team I've ever assembled in a rebuild in the history on this channel, I am going to move into the forest, abandon my life, and become a tree. Because at that point, I won't know what else to do. I'm begging you, brother. We're a 99 overall team. This has got to be a blowout. It's 7-0 just like that. Come on, 50-0. 49ers tie things up 14-7. Keep in mind, 21-7. Every playoff game's been extremely close up to this point. It's only a touchdown game. 24-14. A little bit of breathing room. One more touchdown, please. 31-30. Oh, God. So much has happened in a short time frame, but we finally, 4 seasons in, bring the Cleveland Browns to their first Super Bowl in franchise history in the midst of building the best roster in NFL history. It's about time, boys. It's about time. Do you think we made the right decision moving on from Shedeur Sanders? And you guys can't be too mad at me for it, because I did the impossible and won the Super Bowl with the Browns. Now, I really hope you enjoyed that Madden 27 monstrosity, and if you did, I really hope I earned your subscription to my channel, because I'm really trying to get to 2 million subscribers by the day I die, which seems impossible at this point, so I would appreciate it if you did subscribe. And if you're enjoying the content, you can click right here to watch another Madden 27 rebuild.